Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hello everyone, and welcome to the event. To the grand enjoyment of all. Let me go ahead and put out some announcements here and we'll get underway. Very, very excited for today. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm super thrilled. We're going to put out our announcements. We're going to get into this, and today, well, we'll wait a minute until we're joined here, but we're going to be having a lot of fun as we goof around with some silly challenges that I've come up with in the spirit of the 12 labors of Hercules, or Heracles, depending on, you know, which one you prefer. It's one of those long-standing debates whether it should be Hercules or Heracles. I don't really care. We're gonna be taking the awesome stories from that adventure. For anybody who's a big fan of like Hercules, what was the Disney? There was like a Disney. I know there's a really popular Disney Hercules. I think he does the 12 labors in that like quickly, right? It's like the first. It's like his training arc. It's like the training arc cutscene in the Hercules, the Disney Hercules. It should be a lot of fun. Let me see here. I'm gonna go ahead and put out the announcements. There we go. So for today, this is part 1 of 2, where we're going to be joined by the Legion developers who are going to be hopping in here shortly here and playing a couple of games, telling us about their trials and tribulations as they've worked very hard to develop the Legion faction. It's going to be very, very cool, and I'm very excited. So let me go ahead and, without further ado, I'll unlock the lobby, and we can get into what I've prepared for today, which are some very interesting challenges, I'd say. Should be very, very interesting. And let me read over here. There's one unit in the game with 5 legs or treads. Oh, I don't know which one that is. I don't even know what that means. Ah, man, why is the YouTube chat still not working? Ah, so frustrating. Can I, if I refresh it, will it work? Please? Please, sir? Okay, well, that's annoying. How can we remedy this, I wonder? How, I wonder, could we remedy this, I suppose? What we will likely do, is... I guess I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. This was back before I was like, you know, really actually understood how to do all this. What I would literally do, and what I'm going to do again, is I would just watch the stream on my phone. I would put it up on my phone, and that would be the whole. That'd be how I watch the thing. Very very epic. Yeah. Kind of funny. Okay, I gotta find myself. Somewhere around here. There we are. There we are. Okay. How's YouTube chat? There you are. First, hi, OMG, too late, noob, look, number 1, blah, blah, blah. Is the first labor getting into the locked lobby? Yeah, exactly. First labor is getting into the locked lobby. No, the first labor is the Nemean Lion, so I'll go ahead and explain how this is going to work. Basically, one of these teams is going to be given a... Basically, one of these teams is going to be given a much smaller start box, but a big resource bonus. The other team is going to be given a much larger start box and no resource bonus. So you can start with much more of the map, you can grab those mexes, and it's quick start too, so you have a bunch of opportunity, excuse me, to get that up and running. However, you do not have the luxury of space if you are spawning on team number 1. Now, without further ado, I'm going to hop into the chat, and we're going to get some of our bar devs. First off, joining us today is going to be Zephyr Skies. Give me just a second here. Hello there. Oh. Testing.
Hello.
There you are. Welcome,
yeah,
sir.
Sorry about that. Hi,
Welcome
hi. I'm still expecting, of course, other folks to join in. I came in here for... just to get ahead of the curve, but I didn't expect us to start so soon.
Oh, well, surprise. And welcome to the live stream chat. Yeah, we're in this thing. All right, will you be joining us for the first game, or will you be watching? I know there were some sleepy heads that were getting up early here to join us today.
I am not sleepy because it is 2 p.m. in the afternoon, yeah. So I guess I'll join this first one. Why not?
Perfect. Now, as I was just explaining, The first challenge for today, I know I've explained this to you, but I'm explaining it to the audience here again. The first challenge of today is the Nemean Lion, first labor of Hercules, where today we're going to be spawning where basically one team gets a much smaller start box, but gets a little resource advantage, while the other team gets a much larger spawn box, and does not get as big of an advantage. So it'll be a little bit of a David and Goliath sort of a situation here. Let me see how I can do this. Force you into the game here. I know what we'll do.
I think it's, whoa, team size 2.
Yep. Hold on. Check this combo. Balance. I've had to do this before. It's like, I feel like Thanos. I'm gonna like snap away half the galaxy here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's weird. Usually it kicks everybody out.
You know, it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine if you guys go ahead and start off.
You want to watch the first one? Okay.
Yeah. It'll mean I'll actually get to talk and, you know, a backseat.
Well, maybe that's a good example. So maybe you'd like to give yourself a little introduction here for everybody listening live with us today.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not really a stranger in the community anymore.
Right.
But yeah, everyone, I'm Zephyr Skies. Currently, I'm serving as the art department's project manager, but obviously I've also done a lot of work on Legion. Yeah, I'm not here to really talk about myself today. I'm here to just mediate and get the rest of the team introduced because I wanted to get this sort of coffee chat where everybody started. Oh, I think Darcus is here. I wanted to get this chart.
There you
coffee chat started because a lot of our folks on our team don't really get to talk about their experience working on bar, despite, you know, you all playing and enjoying their models and units on a day-to-day basis. So this is an opportunity for them to, you know, kind of talk and about their experience working on bar and the thought process and creative process when it comes to the Legion faction in general.
Awesome. Well, maybe that's a great segue. Would you like to introduce our first member joining us today? Or, well, second member. I don't know. Would you like to introduce Darcus, who's joined us now? Darcus, would you like to introduce yourself?
I can definitely do so, but Darcus, would you like to introduce yourself too?
Yeah, I'm Darcus. I'm currently the standing lead 3D lead. Yeah, I've been with the project for about 3 years. Been adding stuff slowly at my own pace, as people already know.
And what kinds of stuff have you added? I was sent a little blurb, but I wanna, you know, hear from you what kind of stuff you work on.
I do bounce between factions, but I generally just make 3D models and animations for said units. Sometimes I'll be working on Cortex. Sometimes I'll be working on Legion. I did start with some of the older, more problematic Armada units, where I think one of the first projects me and Zephyr worked on was the anti-air units. Some of them just didn't point up at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
A lot of them just did not point out at all. Yeah.
Was that why anti-air bots were always so awful?
No, it was just an animation issue.
Are you sure, Darcus? Because remember that the Armada T2, T1 anti-air bots were completely broken.
I mean, I think they still fired. They're just animations were just inconsistent.
I see.
They were shooting forwards and the bullets were going upwards, is what you're saying.
Their deploy animation where they like put their like arms up or whatever just didn't play half the time. I think it's still like that to this day. I don't think I've touched it again since I did like 2 years ago almost.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting task because anytime Darcus would attempt to try and fix it, it would just be messages of despair and confusion. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna touch this anymore.
Oh boy.
Let me bring up the script and see if it's changed any since I last seen it. It's like coming back to it after it's been through its half-life to see how it's gone. Has it lost half its mass yet?
Oh. I think you guys can get started at the very least, right?
I think we're ready. We're gonna get started here. I'm just trying to make sure I see EnderRobo has joined as well. In fact, I see EnderRobo's in the chat. We've also got Qcrew as well here. One of the challenges, this is sort of the challenge that everybody's going to have to deal with today, is trying to talk while playing Beyond All Reason. So, no pressure. It's very difficult to do. I can't even do it. I've been practicing for years now, and I can't even do it.
So Ender's already in on your team playing.
Yep.
Although, Ender, would you like to introduce yourself, or do you want me or Bright to do it?
Well, I work on Legion. I joined like 2 years ago or so. I mainly model. Do some animation as well, but mainly models and animations.
Well, I think you're selling yourself a bit short there. I mean, you're one of our senior 3D modelers, I would say, and like you said, you've been working here for about almost 3 years now. And Ender here was one of the first. Actually, I think he, out of the current batch of active modelers, he is still the first person who actually made Legion models, if I'm correct. I believe. I mean, Darcus would be able to correct me if I'm wrong. They were both active around the same time. So Darcus came before, but she was helping out mainly on Armada Cortex fixes when she initially joined the project. But Ender's initial contributions were towards Legion, and that was the creation of units such as the Triton, the Carries, and the Medusa. So he helped shape and theory craft a lot of Legion's design functionality early on when it came to the balance side. And I mean, the existence of the Triton alone gave a really good mandate for the experimentation within Legion, and that would still produce a lot of useful and interesting units without making them, completely comical or ridiculous. So he's helped steer the course quite well over the course of the last 3 years.
So that's the reason why we don't have the Juggernaut beam, the head of a Juggernaut mounted on top of a truck and firing away anymore.
Well, no, that wasn't EnderRobo specifically, but I will say I believe he was pretty critical about something like that at the time. So yeah, that was definitely a time.
To this day, one of my favorite random bits of trivia. Like, you say that to a person who's just picked up Beyond All Reason today, and it just sounds like you're out of your mind. Like, it sounds like you're talking about nonsense. I gotta go dig up some old recordings of that, because that was truly one of the kit bashes of all time.
And we also have Qcrew in the chat. Qcrew / Boneless. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys. I swim around in a ton of barcode. Basically, I've worked in complicated systems engineering before, and the way that bar is architected means that we have to do some really complicated compromises. So a lot of what I do resembles maintenance, but that means that I have a really, really crazy low-level view of everything and how it works, and that's been just banging me around in the project. I've touched a ton of stuff, but I don't really know what to lay claim to. For Legion, it's cluster artillery and all of the physics and the fake physics and the real physics that we've done over in Legion, and the penetrating projectiles on railguns. So that's and a lot of napalm upgrades. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I want to dig into that a lot more later on, but that's really interesting. You mentioned the penetrating projectiles on railguns. I was under the impression that they weren't able to do that. Like, is that a visual thing, or is that actually a gameplay thing, where the higher power projectiles can go through?
We needed the engine to upgrade actually for the railguns to work correctly. For the longest time, railguns have been just incorrect. So I'm sure there's a lot of mistaken perceptions of how they work. And the perfect micro of a railgun unit is to keep an enemy unit at your maximum range and to plug them with a railgun, right? That's perfect. So you don't usually see them penetrating a target, but yeah, they do.
Huh. Now, what does that mean, in terms of an upgrade to the engine? Because I've heard that before. I've heard upgrade to the engine for, a bunch of different things. What does that actually look like? I mean...
In this case, it was something really, really basic. Our only ability to do game logic on every single simulation frame, once per simulation frame, was at the start. So you would have collisions that happened during the game frame, and I would have to wait until the next game frame to process them. And I think that we we got access to that like a year ago, and I just didn't notice. So I think like 4 or 5 months after that, I noticed and I upgraded railguns. So they've been working correctly for only like, only like 8 months now.
That's crazy compared to how long railguns have been in the game too. I mean,
yeah.
what the first
Well,
railgun must have been? Was it the vehicle, the truck?
The first railguns didn't have penetration at all. Then they got a penetration upgrade, and it just was, it was a compromise. It didn't happen very often, so it didn't matter that it was kind of incorrect.
Uh-huh.
But and by incorrect, I mean it's 1/30th of a second later. I had to do the penetration operation, right? And so it was a little wrong. It wasn't very wrong. But now it's totally correct, and it's a little confusing. You have to like slow down the game to tell what's going on. There's both a projectile and a projectile trail. When you were talking about the visuals, those are overlapping each other with railguns.
I
So
see.
you need to like slow it down. The really, really bright part is the projectile, and everything else is just like it's like a smoke trail, like on a missile, right?
Right. Okay. So you got a little bullet, and then you have the visual coming off the back of it.
And that part is just graphics. Yeah, so it can look like it's piercing when it isn't because of the smoke trail, basically.
I see. The trail continues
It
a
does
little
kind
further.
of float. It just kind of hangs in the air. It's not really doing anything. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if units are in motion, then it looks like they got pierced when they didn't. Yeah, the
Ah.
piercing. If it hits a target, the projectile will actually lose damage according to how much damage it deals. And if it has damage left over, it'll carry on.
Oh.
So the
So
second
firing
thing it
against
hits will
low.
receive. Yeah, the second thing it hits will receive less damage.
Oh, that's clever.
It is interesting at least, and I just wanted, we had these crazy hard-hitting railguns that would stop tanks in their tracks, but when you hit a tick, it would disappear, and it bothered me. So I just made them penetrate instead.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you're punching through
Yeah.
aluminum foil versus hardened titanium. It's going to be slightly different, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it marks the projectile. Also, the projectiles were a different type. They're not plasma, so they weren't intercepted by plasma shields. They're a solid impactor. Like plasma has the excuse when it hits a tick, it explodes.
Right.
Of course, the projectile goes away, it just detonated. But railguns are a solid impactor. So it's the kind of attention to detail that I want us to have, and I want us to keep doing. But the technical details, I know, are just like beyond most people. So that's I got into bar basically just by digging away at a bunch of insane technical tasks that at the time were literally not possible. So we've made them slowly possible.
That's wild to. I don't know if that's a common thing in game development. I know very little about game development. That's why you guys are here. But that seems wild to me to have to you're ahead of what the engine can actually handle in the entire game. Just seems crazy to me.
Well, that's definitely why I've stuck with the project, is because we don't have a traditional game engine with game logic on top. You should think of the game engine, and I know that this doesn't help a lot of people. This won't help a lot of people to know, but the game engine functions much more like an application does, where the game engine contains a bunch of logic that we would normally associate with video game logic. It's not doing just like pure physical simulation or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually performing tasks. Like units in bar make decisions based on what the engine tells them to do. That's kind of backwards. It's a little bit inverted, and we're constantly moving in the direction where the engine acts more like an engine. The game is pulling all this application and game-specific logic over into the game code. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I would expect these to be incredibly simple tasks on modern game engines, and that's kind of why I went in to try it. So there's a lot of things like that.
That's really, I mean, that kind of is a very technical approach. But what would you say a task is? When you're saying that a unit is told, or you're saying the engine is telling a unit how to act for each task. Is that lining up its weapons, or what does that mean in layman's terms?
Yeah, you would expect an engine to be able to handle, a true engine, to be able to handle the response to, hey, I want this thing to point at this other thing, and it would say, yeah, boss, I know how to do that. That kind of stuff isn't what I mean. When I say about decision, is more like the unit literally processing information about its environment and responding to its environment. Targeting priority, literally what enemy unit gets targeted by one of your units is decided inside of the engine.
Interesting. And
If you
that's
don't
for
manually
every
target
unit.
something, Yeah, for every unit. So that kind of logic, you expect the game to decide.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but the
Kind of.
engine just decides it for you, and then you just get the result, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
So
to the
that's why
game
you would
code,
seem smart. In reality, it's
they
just
do
this
seem
engine doing
smart.
these decisions.
They seem smart because they are smart, but the engine is controlling it, so we can only like poke at that. We can't just say yes no to absolutely everything on the game engine, because essentially, I mean, you're doing the work twice at that point, right? So the engine checks out every single enemy inside of your line of sight and within your range of fire and processes the targeting priority on all of them. It's a ton of math. And then you get the result and you don't like it, like what do you have to do? You have to do the exact same thing all over again in the game code, and it would be really inefficient. So we're kind of trapped. We're trapped until we can do those engine upgrades. So whenever I say engine upgrade, that's almost exactly what I mean.
So doing the math faster then.
Or letting us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We
Wow.
can do it faster just by you not doing it wrong once and me having to do it right a second time.
Yeah, I guess that helps. No double processing.
Yeah, that's a 50% speed up, yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. If you don't mind, I'm gonna shift conversation here. Ender,
Sure.
what is our game plan? What do we need to focus on here?
For the plan? Well, good question.
Survive.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. If I cover your lane, could you make a transition into air and give us a big scout of the map?
Oh, that I can do. I have a lab up here, so and construction turrets, so I can quickly shift into anything.
Okay, I'm gonna send a bunch of units down south to try and cover your lane here. Just a second.
Okay.
All right. Now that we've got that covered, what is the perspective looking like on the Legion Navy? I feel like I've been very vocal about my love for Legion Navy recently. Who's worked on that? Who's got thoughts and opinions and tales?
I do think
to share?
the Legion Navy is definitely a step up in terms of variety,
Oh yeah.
especially with the testing to their split flagship. It's definitely a step in the right direction, I think.
That was very interesting. That caught me by surprise the first time I saw it because I didn't understand what I was looking at, and then I was like, oh, it's what every other flagship does, except it's instead of one, it's two. Haha.
Yep.
Where did that idea come from?
So some of that came from. So okay, well, I guess we should start at flagships in general. Now, flagships have long been a very contested point. I think in Bar there are plenty of people who think it's fine, but then there are also plenty of people who think that it's really, over the course of time that they've been really vocal about it being much too strong for just one unit. It's basically a T3 unit in a trench coat hiding in a T2 lab, because obviously there's no like experimental shipyard for sea. There's the underwater gantry, but that doesn't build flagships. But there have been a lot of different solutions proposed on how to better tackle flagships as a game design or unit design problem, rather than just adjust a bunch of numbers and make it better or worse.
Right.
I don't know if I should continue talking because you seem like you're in a...
Oh, I'm going through it, but keep going. For the viewers at home watching me struggle with these Decurians, I think we've cleaned up the mess.
Yeah, so a couple of different solutions were proposed. One of them was actually moving the flagship to the experimental lab. I believe you've actually played with a tweak that Hornet made here and there, where flagships were made to be only built in the gantry, the underwater gantry, and that was a cool decision. And obviously it's not like it was a bad choice or anything, but it was another choice, and that might have been something that we would have pursued. Maybe we will pursue it in the future, where we remodel the underwater gantries to support building like shipyards from like a logical perspective.
Yeah, like it looks normal for them to do that.
Exactly. So that's one option. Another option that was kind of proposed was splitting the flagship into multiple different roles, and that was also that wasn't really tested out as much. I don't think anybody was really putting in the time to make a whole separate model, except for the Black Prince. So the Black Prince was actually a foray by Jonathan Crimson, who's not here today with us, but may be with us next week.
Yep.
Jonathan Crimson did make the Black Prince as a sort of a a flagship light in a way. So instead of a naval combat vessel plus artillery bombardment ship in one, it was mainly just the artillery bombardment ship.
Just super long range bombardment.
Exactly. And that sort of, I mean, that gave us an idea of how it functions on a day-to-day basis in normal gameplay. And using that as a reference point, for Legion Navy, we decided to go with that sort of split flagship approach, but like wholesale. You know, instead of just having the flagship and then half a flagship, it would literally be two halves of a flagship split apart into two different units doing their own thing. And of course, testing is still ongoing. I feel like a lot of the feedback has been, wow, one or the other is way too strong, and there have been balance changes that already went ahead to try and address some of the cost issues with them. But of course, testing will take a while, but that's what Legion, you know, kind of can be. I mean, it's still an experimental mod option. It's in the name. And, you know, there's a lot of interesting ideas that we were able to test with Legion. That have made it over into the base game, and the split flagship is another one of those ideas that we have the opportunity to test within Legion that may actually pan out to being an option for all factions in the future.
And what would that look like? I mean, in terms of like, if you were to apply that same logic to Armada or something, is there plans to maybe this is stepping outside the realm of this team, but is there plans to incorporate ideas like that into Armada and Cortex, like giving them, leaning into their specialities, I guess, like giving Cortex more lightning, or Armada more lightning, and Cortex more laser beams or something like that?
That's a really interesting point, and although I have thoughts on it, I feel like Darcus also has some pretty interesting ideas on not just for how to differentiate the flagships for Armada and Cortex, but also differentiate some of their weapon systems as well. Darcus?
There's just basically, yeah, I've been planning on reworking the weapons overall for Armada. One of the proposals I have is to replace their red lasers, like they share with Cortex, with burst lasers. So they do the same DPS, but they fire at longer intervals between, and do a little bit more damage in one go. But the idea is that they'd be better at anti-spam.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a big weakness of Legion currently, is that they the heat rays kind of are very difficult to use against spam weapons.
Yep.
Was it intended Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. But yeah, no, with the Armada laser reworks that I'm thinking of, a lot of their lasers are already burst. Even Centurion, it doesn't look like it's burst, but internally it is a burst weapon.
Oh, interesting.
And the Razorback is absolutely a burst weapon as well.
Okay, that's a great example. So a burst weapon, just to define it clearly here, a burst weapon is one that is basically it's a bunch of tiny lasers fired one after another to make it super accurate.
Well, not necessarily super accurate, but it spreads a high amount of damage across a small amount of time, I guess. And if its target switching is good enough, it can spread that damage between multiple targets and prevent overkilling.
Right, so that's why the Razorback is good against spam in general, is because it can switch those targets so quickly.
Yep.
Well, that's
even the laser cannon type weapons, like the machine guns, they're laser cannons, but we kind of pretend that they're still ballistics. Even those are burst weapons, just because of how audio works in a game.
Oh.
We pack. So say the hoplite, it fires like 12 times every time, and I've got like I've made a sound file for it that plays like a shot sound every 12 times, so we can minimize how many different sounds are playing at once.
So go ahead. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this.
Because the game engine, we do not have any like professional or licensed that we don't have that quality of audio engines, so we can only play so many different sounds, and we don't really have a solution for it at this time until somebody figures it out. And so what we have to do is we have to make sure, like, with how many bullets are fired, we need to make sure that not too many sounds are being played at the same time.
I see. You don't want to use up the resources then on playing sounds. Is it a
No.
resource limitation?
Because I think it's a resource. It is not necessarily a resource limitation. It's more of a. It gets to capacity almost instantly. I think a single hoplite, if it was playing one sound per shot, it would you'd hear clipping in and out of other sounds. You'd hear sounds stopping and
Yeah.
starting.
Okay.
It
we
doesn't
have
sound good.
clipping issues, and we do have a maximum number of sound channels issue, but that's like really really high up there. I think it's a little bit more closely related to audio processing. That is the issue. Yeah.
So it's a little bit
By the way,
less. I was just gonna say it's a little bit less about like the engine limitation, but it's just it's almost like a quality of life thing. Like you're gonna hear all these sounds at the same time, and it starts to sound wrong.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
like, that's fair to say, yeah. And do we have like a death animation on the hoplite so that it fires the rest of its shots?
No,
we match?
it doesn't.
Ender, you
We
are
don't,
killing it
yeah.
here.
It just stops firing new
That's fair.
shots.
Yeah.
The hoplite, I don't believe I've given it a death animation, but I plan to.
Yeah, those are time consuming. I understand.
They're unkillable.
Hoplites, my beautiful creation.
I love
They
the
are,
hoplite.
like extremely
They're
aesthetic.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they look athletic and they act athletic. It's great.
Yeah, the running cycle animation I think is kind of unique. We don't really have that many unique. We don't have that many running units, you could
Right.
say, and they look really fantastic when doing so. I would say.
Yeah, the hoplites give an air of like they look speedy, they act speedy, and then their damage is great. What more could you ask for? They hit all the check boxes.
Tying a little bit back to what Darcus said in regards to different weapon systems and kind of differentiating a little bit for Armada, I feel like we have to do a little bit of precursor work in terms of diversifying some of the weapon types for the current, the Legacy 2 factions. Well, really the mainline 2 factions. I wouldn't say they're Legacy. So Armada and Cortex, they share a lot of different weapons between each other. So if we can give them more diversified weapon types and visuals, then that will also help us give it a much better idea on how we can sort of approach splitting apart their flagships. Because today, I mean, the most we could probably do is make the Cortex combat flagship just a bunch of Tsar cannons and what's the Cortex hovercraft?
Oh, the cataphract.
Oh, the
Mine.
no, the
yes,
halberd.
thank you. No, cataphract.
Oh, the
I mean,
cataphract laser, that too.
Yeah. So like maybe it at most it would have a bunch of Tsar cannons and cataphract lasers, maybe a bunch of what's his name? Oh gosh, I don't even know. Some other Cortex stuff like the green heavy lasers, maybe a bunch of catapult style rocket launchers, things of that nature. We would have to be pulling from existing pools of different units and weapon concepts. Whereas the Armada one, might be a bunch of tachyons on a ship,
Right.
just rows of tachyons on a ship, or some other concept like that with mini lightning cannons and whatnot. So our choices is a bit limited. We want to sort of open up how we can approach these things first, and then go on to differentiate these flagships, because if we do it from the ground up rather than from the top down, it makes it a lot easier to sort of imply that natural progression from tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 in quotation marks within the flagships.
That makes sense. Well, and it takes this unit that is like easily a T3 unit and makes it a little bit closer to T2, I feel like.
Yes, exactly. Because if a lot of what defines what a T1, T2, T3 unit can do is the amount of roles that it fulfills. Now, when it comes to Legion, we have very much cut down on the multi-role units to a bare minimum. I think there only exists one now in the Karkinos, if I'm correct. I think I'm forgetting one more. If anybody can correct me if I'm forgetting.
I believe the no, the railgun, the tier 3 railgun tank's not a multi-role anymore.
Well, those are tier 3, but I mean in the
Yeah.
T1 and T2 phase, there's only the Cartinos left.
I
And
think not the
I thought
Carries,
it-
the Triton is multi-role.
the Triton is multi-role in the same way a Platypus is. It has a main weapon and
Yeah.
then, you know, the anti-air the anti-air turret on top. So that's okay. I mean things of the nature of
Oh,
the
right.
old Scorpion,
Ah.
the old Carcinos, things of that nature. We've really cut down on that primarily because, you know, that is a valuable differentiation between what tiers of units can do. So if we can split the flagship into specific roles, obviously that makes it, like you said, it makes it a lot easier to help differentiate it between, differentiate what a T3 and T2 unit is on the sea. If we ever get T3 units, which I don't think we will on the sea. I don't think that's something planned, but you know, at the very least, it makes it more T2.
I was having a look at other units. The Stronghold is definitely another multi-role, as it is a dropship and a gunship at the same time.
True, but I think the reason for that's existence at all is the analog in the EMP dropship in Armada.
That is a good point too.
The abductor.
So as you can see, you know, it's not always consistent or 100%, but definitely there are exceptions to it. But generally, we want to keep things as single role as possible because then it makes T3s a lot more unique in to boot.
Yeah, they have some reason to be special, for lack of a better word. Now, what does that mean in terms of like differentiation between the different factions? Like, if you wanted to have multi-role for Armada, are they going to suddenly have like lightning cannons on their arms? Like, does the welder get an anti-air turret? Or is that like a concept that is wholesale being moved away? Or like, I guess what I'm asking is it moving away from Legion and into the other factions, or is it just moving away from the game in general?
I think it's mostly moving away. Although multi-role units are cool, and a lot of Legion devs do like them, I would say they're more of an unpopular sort of approach when it comes to folks like people in the game design team or the balance team. Some people are just okay with it, they're not too excited about it, and some people are very much against it. So I think overall, you know, we can't make everyone happy, but at the same time, you know, we should probably appeal to the folks actually, you know, designing the larger game, balancing the larger game, and make their jobs a little easier, and sort of ensure that multi-role units are kept to a minimum for Cortex and Armada as well as Legion.
That's true. That does become pretty difficult to balance, I imagine. Or is anyone
Now-
here? What is the concern as far as balance goes? What do we have as far as technical perspectives on that? I know that's always a touchy subject, but I guess I'm just asking for feelings here.
I'll let other folks answer first before I say anything on it.
My general thoughts on balance is high alpha is not fun to play against.
Okay, so that would be
So that's
Starlight,
things like
Sharpshooters. Just
Starlights,
give some examples.
Sharpshooters. Those are the most egregious examples. Because the Starlight just fires so fast. But also the Sharpshooter just doesn't have a projectile.
It does. Oh, okay. I thought it had a little pinpoint projectile. You're saying it just doesn't have
It
anything at
has
all?
that, but it's just a laser.
Oh, okay. And why is that a
Yeah,
problem?
The actual...
You
The
ended
actual-
up in a situation where those units are nerfed right now. Like, they are in a nerfed state, but they're still so egregious that just the richest team wins right now. And we're in like this really heavy eco meta that I think is like less fun than it was a year ago. And I mean, we constantly have to iterate on like tiny details with that. And so much of it is about these high alpha units. Yeah.
Interesting. Does that come down to a breakpoint of like, are the high alpha damage units, are they balanced upwards to accommodate for dealing with T3, or are they balanced downwards?
They're balanced around that. They're balanced around the idea of, you know, this early fat boy versus a sharpshooter that needs to come, like the timing on sharpshooter needs to be maybe 2 minutes after fat boy, right? So that you can just you know, instantly pop this other team's fat boy, and it's really not even that big of a deal. But we're still in a fat boy meta anyway. So I'm not sure that everything has totally worked out. It's ridiculously mobile. Like we've watched people come up with new strategies on basically every 2 weeks. I want to say 8v8 meta has shifted lately. I mean that's impressive. But the constants throughout, the thing that you have never ever once seen ever go away is starlights.
Yep.
Never.
By the way, Bright, you might want to turn off ranked.
Oh, do we have ranked on? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have ranked.
Oh no. Whoops. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be on. Sorry, everybody who just took a huge OS hit in our game. No, I don't think, one game.
That's fine. I mean, it's beginning of season 3. I'm sure everybody's gonna get their OS back.
That's
soon.
true.
That's
That's true.
true.
We did manage to beat the
have...
Nemean Lion, by the way. Very nicely done. Ender, you absolutely carried. That was fantastic. I feel like I was surviving that entire game.
I'm gonna say something.
Thank you. Though by the end, it was about to be run over.
Trying our best. Go ahead, Darcus. What were you saying?
I'm gonna say something some people are absolutely gonna hate, but I feel like the fat boy should get removed.
Whoa.
Oh dang.
All the way out of the game.
There's a lot of support behind this. No, you're not just hating.
Yeah.
There's a ton of reason, like good gameplay and good lore and everything reason to get rid of the fat boy. So we might.
Because it's just a saw.
It's a czar
On legs.
on stumpy little legs.
I will say,
I don't know.
okay,
Those are...
everybody, before they start panicking, we're just Legion divs. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not Armada divs. Our thoughts are not the law. But I will
just
say,
make
I
the models.
agree. We need to remove that boy.
Well,
Even from a modeling perspective as well.
Are you telling me the gigantic steppers on the fat boy are not appreciated as a model?
It's a little
Maybe-
bit dated, considering compared to some of the newer models.
I
Yeah,
will
maybe
say
part of the joy of the unit, really. That is really that's a plus. It's not such a massive negative. No, I think all of the negatives for it, like as in like the team's opposition to the fat boy being in the game, is that it's out of place in the roster.
Real quickly here, I'm gonna send you guys a party invite so we can sort by party. That way we're all on the same team here.
Cool.
Do you wanna set up the next challenge or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move into it. I want to get back to the fat boy here, but really quickly, I'm just gonna introduce the next challenge. Next one up on our list here, the Nemean Lion has been conquered, so that's the first labor off the list. We're gonna jump around the labors a little bit because some of them I do need an admin to participate in to spawn some stuff. But the next one is going to be the Hydra. I forget the name of the Hydra. I always forget.
The
this one.
Lernian?
Yeah, that's the one. Lemenian. Yeah. Lernier.
I only know it from the late 80s.
something the Hydra. You guys all know the story. Cut off the heads, more of them grow back, all that good stuff. I will admit a large part of my understanding of like Herculean labors comes from the Disney Hercules movie. So, for all the diehards out there, forgive my lack of understanding.
Listen, I don't think anybody here watching or playing with us today has heard of it, but if you played the Hercules computer game back in like the early 2000s, you had peak in your life. It's good. It's good.
Oh man, I also forgot this sometimes bricks lobbies when I do this.
I think we're okay.
I should probably start
Although
a
you might need
counter
to-
for lobbies bricked.
You should probably disable ranked again.
It
have
turned
to
on
say-
again. My goodness.
If you change the preset, it just reverts everything back to normal. So you have to set
Oh.
everything again.
Okay, well, let me
This
make
map's-
some
this
adjustments
map's-
here. Uh-huh.
This map's name always gets me.
Yep.
I do like how it's shaped like a heart almost. That's kind of cool.
Aw.
Kind of reminds me of a walnut.
I see that too.
It's got like the seam down the middle.
Ranked game. Turn that off. Okay. Phew.
I'm surprised it's not. It's interesting it's not sideways like the original.
I think so that it's easier to like actually put star boxes.
I guess so.
Because we don't have diagonal
makes
star
sense.
boxes yet.
Not yet.
New lobby. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Wait,
One day.
what were you saying about the start boxes?
We're getting dynamic start boxes in a new lobby, so we can make them any shape.
Oh, you mean little circular start boxes? How's that gonna work? Is it like a drawing
Circular,
tool?
polygon. I assume it's going to be a drawing tool.
Oh, that's gonna be neat. Long have I wanted triangular start boxes.
So, real quick, going back on a previous question, you mentioned something. You asked the team a balance question. Can you repeat that one more time, Brightworth?
Well, so the question is, what does the balance change in terms of like when Legion gets discussed? You guys have gone to great lengths to make Legion fit into the game and not be like horribly Emba. Like, I mean, we all remember a time when Legion was basically outcasted for having all these different tools that were way too strong, way too easy to use, all this different stuff, right? But that is definitely changed. How did we go from, you know, having quick shots with 4 shots that could take down a Aphis in 3 or 4 volleys to, you know, like the modern iterations we have now?
Okay, before I answer that, you might want to let Qcrew into the lobby since it's locked.
Oh, whoops. Thank you.
Okay,
I will
Qcrew,
say-
you can come in now. Come in now. Quick.
Oh, most of the balance to
Quick.
Legion has been done using a pruning tool.
What is that? Explain that a little, because that's...
Like, we have pruned so many features from Legion to get to where we are now.
Mm.
You can lock the lobby now, by the way. He's in.
He may... Oh, okay. Trying to keep it under
Okay.
control. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Okay, yeah. So Darcus is correct. I'll talk a little bit more on pruning, but I also wanted to hear Ender's perspective on it because he is the highest OS out of all of us.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Well, the main issue is that the multi-weapon units didn't really work well because you either had very similar weapons, so why have 2 of them, or you had very different ones, and why would you have 2 very different ones on 1 unit? Then it's just bad in all cases. So with Legion, we basically just removed a lot, as Stars said. We removed most of the multi-weapons, we removed the bursts on some of them, or made them shorter, like on the quick shot. Basically, we made them weaker, but balanced in other ways.
So it's basically comparative, is what you're saying. I guess I'm asking, is it comparative where you take what Legion and Armada can do, and you start there and you try and hit the same kind of numbers, or is it more like you have a target for every class of unit, like capital ships should be able to do this much damage, and you know, exploding tumbleweeds should be able to do this much damage, or is it a mix of both, maybe?
Well, the issue with that was that Legion doesn't really have direct counterparts in other factions. Like in Tier 1, the weaker units are a lot weaker, and then the stronger ones are stronger. They're Tier 1.5. And and in D2, it's, well, very different.
That's true. There is a lot of I don't even know what to call it, like depth of variation in Legion, because there's so many interesting like tools. That's one of the things I hear a lot about Legion. Sometimes as a critique, sometimes as praise, but it's funny because it's the same thing, and it's that Legion has more tools than either of the other 2 factions, which I think is just really funny. Is that is that something that's ever going to change? Is that something that's like looked at negatively or positively? Like, what are thoughts on that as far as how Legion has, you know, napalm and railguns and flat cannons, or what is it, micro flat cannons?
I'm the guy who keeps on making new mechanics, so I guess I can, I can talk about like why are we maintaining all of this code? Like, I mean, we look at it as work, right? Like this is actually a time expense for us. Why are we doing it? You know, what does justify it? Of course, we have logic for that. I don't know. I don't develop out of compulsion. You know, I've been actually coding in the background of this stream so far, so maybe it is. But
Working on the job.
but yeah, but like we can't give Cortex napalm, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could give it experimental napalm, but we can't give Cortex itself napalm. Legion is the experimental faction, and it's just where we can put things. Of course, we're going to give them the experimental unit and the experimental weapon and, you know, anything else. Even just the experimental roster and layout of the roster going from very weak to very strong. That's an experimental idea. That's why it's in Legion. Every single one of these things is something that just doesn't have a place in the base game. We cannot just kick it into vanilla. So it has to be something that's modded. Yeah.
Isn't that going to be it'll almost be a loss to the development scene if Legion gets merged into base game?
When we merge it, we have to release all of that tension in the design, all of it. And how that, you know, how it snaps back into shape, right, is going to be occasionally dramatic. I think not in a way that like anyone will be upset with, but it'll make changes to the game. Yeah.
One of the things that I've been thinking about for a long time. Pardon me, I can't remember who I had the discussion with. I think it might have been you, Zephyr, but it might have been. I wonder if it might have been Tharsis as well. But it was the discussion on napalm and the idea of limiting the napalm to a set damage per second, and then you have, I guess the idea was different types of napalm, like orange napalm does 100 damage a second, and green napalm does 200, and blue napalm does 300. Is that still a thing, or has design perspective changed on that?
So I mean, I've been just maintaining napalm in like its current state, but integrating it as much as possible with like the requirements that are handed down. But all I'm doing is meeting requirements. For someone to redesign it means that at this point, like someone actually responsible would have to do that. Battle ended.
Yeah, we had a leader.
There's someone missing on their other team.
I see.
Classic lobby simulator right there.
If you're not gonna play, don't join.
Right?
Might want to hit a
Although
balance.
there are complications sometimes.
Yeah, go ahead. Good idea. Go ahead and hit a balance. Huh. So where does napalm sit right now? What's the current status of it?
So the current status is that there are just blobs, generic napalm blobs, and they do 60 damage per second, and you can stack 2 of them for 120 damage per second. We really had to make napalm more fair. You can't see very clearly inside of napalm, so the stacking was necessary. But also, we don't want you to lose 50% of your damage on a unit just because the napalm happened to land where you had already shot napalm. So we do have both problems, both for the people who are being hit by the napalm and the people who are shooting the napalm have gameplay concerns associated with it. So all I've done is meet that concern, and Zekers has rebalanced it, and that's all that we've been able to do for now. But it has to have a redesign, which means that we need to have the game designers on board to do the redesign. Yep.
That's a thing I hear a lot is that it's a lot of communication. I mean, that's probably not a surprise to anybody, but it seems like there's a lot of cutting edge to Legion that is important to take into a lot of different dynamics into consideration. That's something I've never been great at. I'll admit it. That's one of those things that I struggle at a lot, and it's cool to hear what you guys all have to say, what your whole team, has to say, because when it comes...
Right?
Sorry?
I'm going to stop you for a second. Darcus, you might need to radio.
Oh, yep. Do that.
Darcus?
Yes. What's up? Sorry, I was
ready.
not paying it. I was. I thought
There
I
you
really
go.
did.
Now you just can strike.
Rather than ringing your ears off. There we go. We'll go ahead and start.
Sorry
Oh,
for that
okay.
interruption. Right, go ahead.
No, you're good. Look how eager they are to play with you guys. All of you. They're all started the match
feel
before I
like
could force
eager is the wrong word.
them.
Yeah, so you're the ones who did this.
You know, there's I consider it appreciation, right? You've all built a bunch of tools that they enjoy beating people up with, and I think that's a fun situation.
I suppose the boxing glove manufacturer needs to be boxed himself a couple of times to make it better.
Right? That's a great way of putting it. What's well, I'll do an easy question here. What's everybody's favorite unit so far in the Legion roster? Don't all jump at once though.
Man, I'm able to pick out a top 4 right now. I'll get it narrowed down to 1.
Well, you can give your top 4. You have to justify it though. I mean, if you're gonna give more than one.
Right, yeah. I mean, I really do appreciate the Arquebus a lot. I think that was the moment where I saw that, like, the quality of Legion is never going back down ever again, and, like, this is what we're going to be putting out in the final, in the final game. That was a huge moment. So, like, sentimentally, it's my favorite unit, yeah.
That's really cool. And who did you work on the modeling for that, or was that a team project?
No, that's just right around the time that Railguns started working properly as well. So there was a short time gap there, but no, everything came together. I was doing more code and not anything with the unit design.
Yeah, Arquebus had been around for a really long time before I remodeled it.
Right. Yeah. I am talking about the moment of the remodel. Yeah.
I think it was one of the Zekris mashups. So Zekris is the lead Legion developer, you could say, because he sort of ties everything together. It was sort of his idea to take a bunch of these. That's going into another topic entirely, so I'll get to that in a second. But generally, he's the lead. So some of the earliest Legion units, majority of them were just kit bashes that he himself made conceptually, and then of course the rest of us came in to remodel it to fit the new design direction, the new textures, etc., etc. Ender, you got any favorite units, Ender and Tharsis?
I have to say the hoplite.
The Medusa.
Tharsis said hoplite.
You guys both chose something you made.
Well, that's great.
I may be a bit biased, but the hoplite is a really good unit. I'd have to say
you have to choose a unit you yourself haven't made. Okay, so you can pick one of your favorite units and one of your favorite units that you yourself haven't made.
You know what? I really liked the Qcrew.
Oh, okay. That's certainly a fan favorite / favorite unit to hate. What's your opinion on the Qcrew? Why is that one sitting in your ranks?
It's just a really good general purpose unit. It's very accessible, I guess. So if you're not sure what to make at the start of a round, you just build a Qcrew and your front line is mostly secure.
A bit expensive.
It'll defend you across it. They are expensive, but you're paying for it, and it's worth it.
You know, you're paying for quality. That's what they say, right? You get what you pay for. I think the Qcrew has always been one of those cool, like a trendsetter kind of a unit. Like like the Qcrews are always in the forefront of discussion, just because they kind of shift the way that vehicles are thought about, which is kind of interesting. Like, I almost you know what I kind of compare the Qcrew to is the halberd.
Yep.
Very high cost, but also performs way above its league for that extra tax you pay for it. What about you, EnderRobo? What was your unit? Your self-indulgent unit?
If I can pick one of my own, it will be the Hercules. That thing is not very good, but I love it.
Oh, the Carquinos, is that what you said?
Yes.
The Carquinos is a beautiful piece of engineering. What was the phrase? Architects beyond their means, or something like that. Architects operating beyond their without the tools they need. Something like that.
I think it was something I said, which is that elite. What was the term? I don't even remember what exactly, but I think
I remember
it was
you phrased it so well one time.
Master craftsman with the shittiest tools possible.
Yeah, exactly. I've always loved that, because that, in my mind, that like perfectly sums up how a lot of the Legion units feel like they're constructed. Like not design-wise, but like in terms of like in-game lore, if the Legion had lore, you know, they're built with this idea in mind, but then they're kind of also like cobbling together from whatever tools they can steal.
They're very much all the art majors went to Legion. Cortex and Armada don't have any left.
Now, has any thought
Ender.
gone into lore?
Hold on, before we get to lore, I just want to ask Ender why what parts of the Carquinos make it his favorite.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's a very fun unit to play with, basically. You need to get close to get good use out of it, but you can poke things at range. So
Yep.
the gameplay with it is interesting. You need to keep being active, you need to keep poking, then retreat for the armor to regenerate. It's a fun unit to use. And I'm currently slaughtering these phobos with it. Oh no, I died.
They did get a slight buff thanks to Boneless, so I think they actually are quite good now without being overwhelming in a way.
Yeah, now its synergy with the ballista is maybe its only issue, but that's just because the ballista is incredible. You know, it wasn't worth keeping the crab down.
What was the buff that it received?
It really didn't have good
Crowd
crowd
control
control,
wise.
but it got a tightened up spread on the shotgun so that it never shoots the ground accidentally anymore.
Oh.
That was kind of an issue. It would lose like maybe 10% of its shotgun DPS to hitting the ground. And it fires twice instead of once, and that really helps it to manage a crowd.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's one of the issues with shotgun. Well, not really an issue. It's more of just like one of the ways shotguns works, I suppose. Has always been that they just have huge DPS up close, but then also huge DPS fall off at range. What are the shotguns like? For instance, the boat in the Legion T2 Navy has a shotgun on it. I can't remember the name.
A shotgun or a boat in Legion T2 Navy?
Yeah, one of the
Oh,
boats has a shotgun
Priscilla.
on it, I believe.
Priscilla.
Yes.
Priscilla has two of them.
Yes,
Priscilla,
yeah. That's right.
And it basically has like a breach shotgun for landing. It's very funny.
And it works. It ends up working out great because it ends up being kind of like that multi-roll that we were talking about earlier, where you have like the shotguns are great for close range, and then it has the burst plasma for more of a long range roll.
Right, I would call that multi-range instead of multi-roll, just because
Okay.
we really have gotten rid of multi-roll as a design prospect for Legion, but it is multi-range still, yeah, for sure.
Okay. That's where I was going with that. Is like, is that considered multi-roll or but multi-range is a great way of phrasing that.
No, yeah.
So basically, just a
Personally-
tool. Go ahead.
Personally, even though I was the one who made it, I do feel like it kind of pushes the edge of what's
It's close.
acceptable.
Yeah.
It's close. I believe it's okay, but I mean, it's mainly based on the fact that ships already are large enough, and the way they're designed, even for Armada Cortex, to have multi-range or multi-weapon setups, and that's okay. Like for example, the Cortex cruiser has three different types of two different lasers, and then also a depth charge. The Armada battleship and the Armada cruiser also has a normal plasma cannon and also lasers. So on the naval side, it's a bit more acceptable because naval gameplay is sort of already constructed around these multi-range, maybe sometimes even role consolidation type units, where multiple units roles are packed into one. So there it's more acceptable. Maybe in the future it won't be, and everything will lose its sort of multi-weapon setup and might go back to being more centralized, one unit, one role sort of design that land is. But I can't speak to that because I don't work on the wider balance stuff. I'm not smart enough to do that for sure.
Well, what does multi-range mean then in terms of like going to other factions too? Will we look into more of that stuff for like Cortex and Armada, or is that still just a Legion exclusive?
I don't think it's a Legion. I don't think it needs to be a Legion exclusive. Multi-range as a concept can still work. I think, especially for
FIFA?
think. Sorry.
Shiva is a multi-range unit.
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
There you
So there are units that still have multi-range in Cortex Armada. I think they will mostly live in the T3 though. For example, the Titan is technically multi-range too. Okay, well, I don't want to use the Titan as an example because it has more than one issue. I mean, not least of the fact that its Tachyon is also anti-air for some reason, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day for sure. But yeah, I don't think multi-range units need to be specifically a Legion lock thing. We can definitely encourage Cortex Armada to use it if needed, but I don't think in the current day today it's altogether necessary. I feel like most people are quite
it has
happy.
the same contours as a lot of other things that we do, where like you think about combat engagements in bar as shaping. You're shaping this concave, you're shaping where you're standing and why, and how dense you're packed together versus how spread out you are and things like that. And that's like multi-range covers that. Like an engagement has a different contour if you're just skirmishing with this multi-range unit that has only one long-range weapon, and then we have different terminology for different types of engagements. We have dives, we have hard commit, we have all of these all these other ways that you can talk about the game that are totally natural to the other aspects of gameplay that just by pure coincidence can be done not in like small gradations such as through inaccuracy or laser fall off, but they can be done through sharp gradations with weapon range. That's really all it is a difference there. I think that most units have sort of a DPS gradient around themselves, and one way that you can do that is just by having 3 different weapons with 3 different ranges. So if it was too unusual, we wouldn't do it, but it fits with a lot of other things that we do.
Mm-hmm. So even though it might look different, it still fills the same roles that like some other other T3 units would.
Yes, I think that's actually a really interesting point you bring up too, because it's relevant to your previous question that you asked a couple of minutes ago regarding, how do we sort of, manage expectations when it comes to all these different kinds of, weapon types that Legion has. You're framing it as sort of like Legion just has more tools than the other factions, but to build off of what Boneless said, it's less new tools entirely and more so different interpretations of the same tool. Railguns are still at the end of the day sort of tachyon energy blaster, long range energy blaster alternatives.
It's an alpha damage.
They just look a little bit. Yeah, it's alpha damage. That's basically it. There's DPS, there's spread, there's anti-swarm, anti-spam, alpha damage, long range bombardment, etc., etc. It's just that Legion doesn't have new or more tools necessarily. It's just that their tools are a little different. Now, it's not explicitly true because Legion has things like drones and napalm, which other factions don't have. Let's keep it 100 here. Other factions don't have damage over time, area sort of control things. They definitely don't have remote controlled air, automatically building air spam stuff, right? That's not something they have. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they need to. That doesn't necessarily mean they can't get it in the future. I feel like there is options open to sort of introduce those kinds of tools to Armada and Cortex in the future. Now, no idea if it's going to be a definitive like yes, it's going to get in. I mean, but I think a lot of the game design team and the balance team are actually open to sort of giving some of these or interpretations of some of these tools back to Cortex and Armada. And I mean, there's already extra units and drone carriers for Armada and Cortex.
Oh, right.
So it's not like it's a completely novel idea either.
Are those drones the same as the Legion ones? Like mechanically, do they work the same way?
No, they're actually different. The Armada drones are different, and the Cortex drones are different too.
I wondered about that because there was like little nuances that felt like they were maybe a little different.
I think the Cortex drones just use a yellow laser, so they're more like just a laser drone. They're kind of similar to the heat ray drones, but with less sustain, like more just classic, just a short laser that just fires. But yeah, I mean, those didn't have like a lot of extensive, like sort of game design musings put into it. There wasn't a lot of extended amounts of back and forth on making it look specifically very Cortex or very Armada-y. So there's still a lot of room to improve. But again, I think they're a good example of it being still a concept that can still work.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel like how do you feel like drones perform now? Do you think that they're in a good spot? Do you think they'll need some adjustment?
Well, I think that's a question everybody else can answer too. But for me specifically, I think they're good. Maybe they're a little too good. I feel like there are ways to sort of, make them curb them in, reel them in a little bit without making them, outright useless. Maybe it's I feel like it's also like a visual communication issue. Drones are really tanky, but they're really small. So I'm not opposed to making the models themselves significantly larger to help, imply that strength and toughness a lot better. Maybe it's just that. Maybe that people just need to understand that these are tough units, and they're not just tiny mosquitoes that can get shot out of the sky in like 5 hits. But yeah, that's just my interpretation. I'm sure everyone else here has also different theories and different opinions on drones. So if you guys can spout them off, I'd be appreciated.
It's one of those areas that's always under debate, but
yeah, the input for you
everybody's muted. I think some might be focused on the game. There's a very heated battle going on, and understandable.
I'm a little bit focused, yeah.
Ender is the only person who's playing right now, and he's having a moment.
I'm in it too.
Oh, you're in it too?
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, blue are. Holy smokes. Okay, so yeah, never mind. That makes sense why they're quiet right now.
They're working hard.
Yep.
What about you, Boneless?
Hardly working.
I was also spectating because I'm trying to figure out game state. No, what was the question?
What do you think about the current status of drones? How they fit into the larger game? Do you think they're too strong or too weak, or what more might be done to help, make them a little bit more?
Yeah, I think they visually don't line up. I mean, they have a lot of health. They need to be just these floating bricks, really. And they need to be a little slower, and that's kind of that's kind of it. Like, they really are super high conflict. They need to be very direct. They need that HP, or they need most of it at least. Like the general profile is basically correct because of what they're supposed to do, and they are, they're filling their role correctly. That's good. That's the first thing that you check. And everything else, I think, is just this difference of expectation. The fact that it's a new thing that people haven't adapted to, and the fact that anti-air, which like really high skilled play, is building the fewest units, and now you have to bring some anti-air in your navy composition, or else you're getting peppered by drones for forever. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but of course it is. It builds up. So we're bothering the high OS. I know that we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and in a lower skill player just doesn't know how to deal with it at all. They don't even necessarily have the knee jerk to build anti-air, so it doesn't get out in time, basically, right? There's a lot of little issues that are gameplay issues. Some of it is, cultural to RTS, and some of it is just on us. I think that we can improve drones quite a lot. I came up with a bunch of weird ideas, like having 4 subunits in each unit, and you can watch, like, a missile takes out one of the 4 drones, and now it only has 3 guns. It doesn't have 4 guns, it has 3. So there's all kinds of like unusual ideas that we could jump for, but since it's not getting the same kind of focus that Armada and Cortex are, it's just us. It would just be me programming new drones and saying like, hey guys, yeah, like, does anyone like this, or is this stupid? And that's a huge risk, because I'm working on a lot of other things, and those things won't get done if I work on something else. So that's kind of how drones have been sitting there for a year.
Well, there's now a couple different types too. Like, we have, for instance, the heat ray drones versus the little I don't know what else, the little machine gun drones, I guess. What is there plans to like distinguish even further, or is it eventually going to become less diverse?
I think we're pretty good with 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 2 is a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If
I also
something
agree.
else, I think it would be like drone bombers or something, and I don't think that there's any like necessary reason to make drone bombers, so I think that we're basically done.
Aside
Yeah,
from
I
the
feel
idea
like,
that that's badass.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, it's a lot of
Oh.
fun. But is it good for? Yeah, is it gonna in an 8v8? Are you gonna be okay with getting bombed by 50 drone bombers or no?
Yeah, one drone carrier is not a problem, but it's when there's suddenly 2,000.
Yeah.
Oh, my base is gone.
Yeah.
Huh. I was wondering where
Think
my
I'm
units were.
next.
I was having a second thought. I was like, I don't feel like my reinforcements are coming out just about as quickly as I thought they would be. Well, would you look at that?
Not even sure what happened there.
I believe I might be next.
Was there a nuclear?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what
Yeah,
is going
okay.
on?
We got nuked.
Oh, you got nuked. I
That's
never even heard a nuclear missile launch.
I didn't get an anti-nuke up in time.
That's
Yeah.
that happens.
I
That,
should have
you know,
known.
I have a history.
You know, that happens. So, listen, and nukes are just like, nobody expects a nuke until they get nuked, and then everybody builds an anti-nuke forever until they forget, and then you get nuked again.
Sorry if this is spec cheating, but I know you can see the Shivas. Your moment to win this game on the offense was probably 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here it comes.
Something I didn't consider. Super high build power makes these advanced metal fortifiers pretty good.
Defensively,
They got
they're
some
really
kind of
nice.
spy bots. They got some kind of spy bot on Ender's line as well. Hey, at least my E-Rad did something.
Go. That. Build an anti-nuke, because those are pretty good, it would seem.
Yeah. Well, that nuke has already gotten its value.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep, it sure has.
Yeah, some minor misplays are keeping you guys in it, so keep going.
Goodness, where can I put this T2 lab? Unforgiving hillside terrain here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Found
Thing I
the
do want to
spot.
bring up, once you guys are struggling here, I feel like it's a topic that Goblins is quite an expert on, I would say, is existence of cluster plasma alone. It was an idea that I kind of floated early on in Legion's development when we only had napalm, and I did see that there was a lot of contention around napalm at the time. So I proposed to sort of, hey, instead of having napalm, why don't we have, just normal artillery but less efficient? Just kind of Legion's theme here. Fulfills the same role, but in a you could say, and I think many people would agree, in a kind of shittier way, of course. I obviously did not have the actual knowledge to sort of deal with that myself and create it. So Boneless at the time, I think that was his first major contribution, which was just creating all of cluster plasma alone by himself and making it work really well. So I would say it was a very, very nice contribution, and I'm sure he can speak a lot more on its continued evolution from its inception to where it is today.
Yeah, I got a MS Paint drawing of a thing hitting another thing and some things coming out of it. And for some reason that was really motivating. I was just playing at the time. I wasn't really a contributor. I was just playing bar all the time. That was my whole deal. And I went in and tried to figure out what bounce physics would look like in Beyond All Reason, which kind of means like you have to figure out how solid an object is. So cluster plasma had to resolve all these questions like how heavy is a bar unit. Yeah, I mean, I had to really figure that kind of stuff out. At the time, you might remember ticks had a mass of like 1,000 or something, so that you couldn't push them around or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Seems odd.
actually remember all of the horrible details. So I looked at unit mass, and I was like, surely I can use unit mass to determine how heavy something is, but absolutely not. It was all over the place. Yeah, so I mean, there's all this work to derive how dense and how heavy and how big and what are the actual dimensions of all the bar units are for cluster plasma so that they can bounce off of them. because it barely bounces off of a pawn, right? But it bounces all the way off of a Titan. So that was like half of the development, and the other half was making it performant enough. Cluster Plasma screams. It's just a bunch of performance hacks stacked on top of each other. It's very fast. It doesn't slow down your game at all, even though it's spawning all of these extra projectiles and everything. Yeah.
That is
really
surprising. I would have imagined it was just horrible performance-wise relative to anything else.
Yeah, because we are a logic layer on top of an application instead of a logic layer on top of an engine, right? I can't ask the game to do collision physics for me and just pass me back the result. We redid collision physics in the game code, and well, I guess I did, and and then used that to scatter the projectiles around, and I did a bunch of other optimizations at first, because you'd be surprised how extremely non-random randomness appears to be, and especially with like 4 or 5 projectiles being scattered in a sphere, they can tend to go in the same direction as one another. So you'd have 3 projectiles go in the same direction after a hit and things like that. I had to do a lot of work to make sure that everything scattered, but scattered uniformly. And it had to scatter uniformly in an area that might be like in a weird shape. There might not be much space for them to move around inside of, like you can shoot inside of a crevice with cluster plasma, and it'll pop out of the crevice, it'll go vertical. That was a lot of collision handling to do. It could have been just ungodly slow, and it would have been unviable, and we would have rejected it just for that.
Right.
But it is quick, it is snappy. Cluster plasma could have gone very bad because it is very hard, and the whole time we had people recommending the easy way, which is airburst cluster. What we have is impact cluster. It hits something and then scatters. And the whole time we had people nagging us about airburst, and that lasted for like a year and a half. We could have done it the really easy way, but we didn't want to, and we didn't want to for all kinds of reasons. There are other technical problems there too. So we really I really soloed that, and then I got tired of developing and I left, and I stopped playing bar actually for like 9 or 10 months, and then I came back to playing bar, and then I came back to development again. So Cluster Plasma has gone through some stages of upgrade since then, and actually has one more upgrade that I have written, but it's just I want to pace out those updates to shields specifically. Cluster can still sometimes go through shields. I solved that like a long time ago. It just means that I'm layering my code on top of other people's code. And since the shields rework, it's live in this season, we still had a bunch of moving parts. It wasn't a priority to force my changes through on top of everyone else's. So that'll be fixed pretty soon.
Well, that's pretty neat, though. So the idea of cluster, like I remember reading about one of the changes was that they would bounce directionally, right? Is that am I saying that right? Like they would basically when they would impact something, they would like bounce off of it.
Yeah, so now when they come in at really high speed and hit terrain, they take the direction that they were coming from, and they push that just a little bit into the spread, so they inherit a little bit of speed from their parent projectile, and that's one of the massive, it was just constant complaints that we could never resolve about cluster, was that it's too random, like you can't control where it hits. And now you do have a bunch of really small ways to influence the way that cluster works, and one of them is just the direction that the clusters travel. I have not received even a single complaint about randomness since I started adding more shaping to the way that they scatter. I guess that is actually even pretty recent. I don't know, was that 5 months ago? So,
that was pretty recent.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten a single complaint about randomness since then, and that's all that people wanted. They're just, the ape brain, the lizard brain, the primordial serpent brain inside of all of us just doesn't like true randomness. It has to look like it exists in the world and like it's a physical consequence, and then people just totally accepted it. It was very funny. It's very funny what complaints taper off over time and we never hear again, versus which ones, do come back over time.
It's funny, I was almost going to say it's a simple fix. It sounds like a lot of math, but in regards to that, it's basically just changing the way that those projectiles... Oh, lobby went down. changing the way that those projectiles bounce around all over the place, but it makes it. I get it's almost like it feels more natural, and so
Right, it
so
does, yeah. And really, people do have like kind of analogy to true randomness. That's I'm not, I'm not making fun of people. That's just how we think. We look at it and it looks wrong, and we cannot describe why. So I had a hell of a time getting these people who didn't like it to describe why they didn't like it, until eventually I just decided, I'll try something. Maybe it works,
Mm-hmm.
And it totally quieted everyone down, which I think is very funny. Just
Right.
it's not really up to everyone to know why they don't like something necessarily. I'm supposed to be the guy who designs cluster to to not bother you. So
So it's
that's
a
what
pretty
we did
tricky
eventually.
ask.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, fix it, and I'm like, fix what, man?
Yeah.
And
What's
we,
wrong
and
with
we
it?
did
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, we did that for like a year.
Oh
Fix
jeez.
what, dude?
Well, that's I mean, there's not a more how to say this. There's not a more affirmative confirmation that you hit the nail on the head than all of it just going away.
Yeah, it just disappears every once in a while. That's I worked on the Medusa's targeting laser too, and solved a bug that no one had reported. Uh, but in a way, they did, right? They reported Medusa's too strong, and I was like, well, I mean, is it? And eventually, I just see a behavior that wasn't quite correct, and figured out that if the Medusa was targeting something in its line of sight, and fired a missile, if that target left the line of sight, the missile would not lose any accuracy against it.
Oh, so it was still
So then,
targeting outside
yeah.
in Fog of War.
Right, in Fog of
Oh.
War, it was getting perfect accuracy. So I was like, yeah, the Medusa is hunting you into your cave right now. That's
That's
why
hilarious.
that's why it's a scary unit, because you can't run away from the thing. So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
those complaints evaporated with the fix, and it's all good. And that happens a lot. You just have to. Sometimes you fix something on balance, and sometimes you fix something on a technical reason. And the technical reasons for cluster are so obtuse that I think that I just hope it never comes up ever again. Like this is a whole collision and physics system. So when someone has a gameplay complaint about a physics system, like resolving that is not easy to think about. So I just hope that I hit the nail on the head a few months ago. I hope that's done.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, what an impossible task. It's impressive to solve that, because it's it takes just a microscope of looking at things under
yeah.
under a lens.
I think our players would be like mentally unwell if they had figured this out. You know what I mean? Like that's too much focus on too much minor detail. You should be playing, this is a really big strategy game. You should be on all these macroscopic details and paying attention, and just, you should be mad when something goes wrong, but you shouldn't be paying attention to this. This is a tiny detail.
Mm-hmm. Well, it definitely when was the change that made the Medusa able to retarget?
Ender, I think, did that one, so I'm not sure, but it's been around for almost a year. Not quite that long, I think, right?
Not that long. It has been a couple months now, but yeah, the original idea was that the Medusa would only fire as many missiles as it would need to kill the target,
Right.
but
Oh,
that didn't go through. So we just gave it retargeting instead.
Yeah, last year we had this initiative to prevent overkill damage a little bit, and
Ah.
we had a bunch of different prototypes. Actually, a bunch of different people tried their hand at this, and the Medusa got its own unit script so that it would launch only the number of required missiles, and that was deemed too special. So around then is when game designers started noticing Legion units, I think, and saying, no, you can't do this. It was interesting as Legion development to get a no from up top. But Legion, so yeah, Ender made a unit script for the Medusa to do all of its overkill prevention on all of its missiles, and to target all those missiles, and that got
Wow.
bounced. So that was a ton of work wasted. But it was an interesting prototype. I mean, it was really cool.
Sounds super interesting. I had no idea even something like that was possible. I imagined that would be a really cool idea, but I figured there must have been some heavy technical limitation there. But I would love to see that script sometime and like play with it in a tweak or
Basically
something.
resolved. I think it was. I think we had started whittling away on Ender's patience by solving each of those technical problems. By they had to be brought up in review and say, hey, you don't solve this edge condition right, and then then you go back and you fix that edge case, and then you come back and you say it's working now, and then at the end of that process, it still got bounced by the design team. So that's life, I guess. I don't know.
That's it's
It
weird.
might come back as an extra unit, but I can't promise anything.
Interesting. Okay, Epic Medusa.
Oh, that would be
Maximum
fun.
overkill prevention. Yeah.
Give it the.
Yeah, where is the Epic Medusa? Where is
Where's
it?
the echidna at?
Yeah.
Give it the projectile from the
In
Epic
development
Card.
hell, buried under feature creep.
Yeah, this time you can't even blame me for taking 6 months for a unit pick. I had that done for you within the week. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah.
At
Yeah, I mean,
Darcus Qcrew, you guys might want to join the new Brightworks lobby.
Right, leaving this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I either got kicked or I don't. I guess the lobby didn't crash. I made a new one without realizing it.
Oh.
I guess I've accidentally split everyone in half.
No. That other lobby is actually is empty. But you may need
Okay.
to rename it, and we are playing with the third
Yep.
third labor, right?
Third challenge up and running for today. This one is, again, I'm forgetting the name of the things here. Hold. I'm going back to our conversation we had because I know I listed them out there. This one is the Stymphalian birds, which was a labor where I had to Google and like read a bunch of these because I had never actually heard of a lot of this. But basically, they're these big like man-eating birds with big bronze beaks and talons, which was kind of interesting. And I figured what better for that than a map full of lava, forcing a whole bunch of interesting air engagements. I was considering adding the space mod in here too, but that is very difficult, so I decided to just make it air. we're just gonna roll with that. Call it a day. Have you guys played with the space mod?
Once or twice.
I'm a big fan. I really am. I think it's a huge labor of love and was very epic. Which labor is this? I think this is like number 6. Sorry, I'm renaming the lobby here. Just a second. There we go. Okay. Now, the other point that we haven't touched on, and I've been very excited to get to this today, are the seaplanes, which are very interesting. I think probably the two notable ones are a riot cannon seaplane, followed up very closely by the drone carrier seaplane, Hecaterina or something like that.
Yeah, it's the Egerton Kier.
Yes, that's right.
So I probably need to change that to something more readable. I will say that the naming for the seaplanes were kind of done a little hastily. They still technically make sense if you look into the I guess etymology, but yeah, I'm gonna have to rename some of them to be a lot more legible. In terms of the right cannon gunship and the drone carrier, so it was a bit of a tough call actually. So with the seaplanes, initially it was just going to be the basic, here's all the seaplanes and here's their Legionified version, but I wanted to take it in a sort of a different approach and try to make it a little bit more interesting, right? Beyond just this is just green Cortex and Armada seaplanes, because that's kind of what we're trying to do with other kinds of other labs in Legion, and sometimes some of it is obviously a little bit more experimental. My initial plan was to have, instead of the regular gunship, just have the carrier as the main gunship and not have any like normal gunship at all. Essentially giving Legion seaplanes a very unique sort of position of, you can't make regular gunships, but you can make aircraft that can make gunships anyways. But after some discussion with Zekris, he said that admittedly, like, that's a cool idea, but in practice, it's probably a lot more it's probably a lot more difficult to balance than you might expect, especially considering, if the carrier unit that makes the drones is also vulnerable to the thing that kills the drones, it's kind of like a very high risk, high reward thing, where you can quickly get a lot of drones, but then also they can just get shot out of the sky by 10 fighters, so it's quite difficult to balance something like that.
Yeah.
So then the idea was then that, okay, we'll include it. I convinced him to include it just as the roster as like an extra unit, and then we'll also have like a regular gunship, so that, you know, once we're doing the testing, if Legion players go seaplanes to try it out, they don't get entirely effed when they try to make any kind of, you know, land attack craft, and there's a lot of enemy anti-air in place. So that's where the riot cannon gunship came, and the riot cannon gunship. It was difficult to make that as well, because when you think about it, the other seaplane gunships are either an energy blaster laser or a what's it called, the plasma cannon laser, right? The cutlass. So it was a bit difficult in how I wanted to sort of approach this unit's role. I didn't want it to just be a DPS focused thing. I wanted to be a little bit more different than what we traditionally have for either the cutlass or the saber. And I had a couple of different options, but my options kind of got narrower when I thought about it, because the bomber we have for seaplanes is not the final bomber. We are going to get the A10 style Gatling gun bomber style gunship thing majig at some point when Darcus gets to it. She really wanted to work on it, so I just made the bomber that I made as a placeholder. She'll be able to easily change some parts around and attach her Gatling guns as needed when it comes to actually make that unit. So using Gatling guns as a DPS focus gunship was out of the question, because of the proposal of the A10 style bomber gunship. My options were limited to either a railgun gunship, which is ridiculous. Like, it's cool, but it's ridiculous. I don't think it's going to be even harder to balance. Or a riot cannon gunship, right? We obviously can't use napalm. I can't use the shotguns because we already have a shotgun gunship in T2. I can't use heat rays because we already have heat ray drones. So the only option left was the riot cannon gunship, and it's good. Too good, I would say. It does need some nerfs, but we'll get to, you know, I'll let Zeker sort of sort out the numbers for that. But yes, so that's kind of why we have both the riot cannon gunship and the drone carrier in one lab.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that kind of explains it then, why, you know, because it does sort of fill the same role, but also not exactly. Like, gunships are I don't know, to me they've always been a really interesting spot because they are kind of anti-spam, and then in other ways they also aren't really. Like, you have to have so many of them to overwhelm anti-spam. It's, I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm just misinterpreting it, but it feels like a better attempt at dealing with the idea of, like, having a drone carrier that can handle spam a little bit more elegantly.
By the way, did you disable land units for this match?
Nope. I'm just going for something really strange.
Oh, I mean, no, it's okay. I feel like a lot of other people did the same thing, so I was just like, okay, well, I also see land units. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on.
What ended up happening here is I actually reused an old setting for the lava tides. I forgot how quickly they shift up and down. I thought they lasted a lot longer, so I thought a lot more people would be forced into air. Didn't end up being the case, but you know, here we are, rolling with the punches and whatnot. I've always dreamed of a strategy like this where you can rapidly deploy things to a front line using transports and whatnot. Nostradamus maneuver, as it's been called.
Oh yes, Nostradamus is very much one of the all-time bar strategies, I would say. There are some transport reworks in the concepting phase by some members of the team and the community, just to make, you know, transporting things a lot more manageable and easier, particularly with things like setting up rally points, so that, you know, if you put a unit into it, it can just automatically go in, and any available transports will just take them to where they need to go. Of course, it's all in the concepting phase, but it should help sort of make things a little bit more. It should make transporting things a lot less tedious. Maybe include them in regular strategies more often, hopefully.
very focused right now. But yeah,
I'm looking.
got some tasks ahead of me here. I gotta work on.
And you did it quite well.
There we go. Okay, now we're all set.
Might want to take care of. Might want to take care of that. Yeah. Might want to.
Oh well, you know.
I don't know if you saw it, but
A worthwhile sacrifice. I was really hoping that the beamer turret would cover me for long enough. It didn't end up working, but you know, the price we pay. Don't deepen this, please. Let's drop this in the back line.
Uh-oh. Oh, whoa. Good timing.
Go.
Good timing.
Cacophony Micro,
funny.
when you seen that before? Yeah. There we go. Nicely done. Dot's doing a great job. Okay.
Very funny. That was a very funny and entertaining, but still somehow really effective.
I don't know how any of that worked, but we'll just play it where it lies. Where did that commander get out? Oh, there he is. Okay. Let's move this over here.
Great. I mean, the Cacophony needs to get XP, and the only way to decide if it gets XP is to drop it right on top of them. It's perfect.
Manual XP mode.
That's right.
There we go. Put that down there.
I just got news that Jonathan Crimson is looking to join us in about 30 minutes. So
awesome.
we got a lot more insight and a lot more discussion still left to have, I'm sure.
Is there anything I've missed? I've tried to ask as diverse a range of questions as possible, but I also want to, like, you know, open the floor, so to speak. If there's anything, you know, fun tidbits or like random lore that most people don't know about, but that, you know, you guys can give a perspective on, feel free to share. Very open-ended while I try and play these ridiculous air shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've had it's been more of an open discussion, like, you know, what's going to get pulled out of Legion and into, you know, more of the technical development for Armada and Cortex, and I just want to say it's always been happening. We've already been contributing really small improvements to the code base, you know, this whole time. Like, you know, I don't think people have really noticed, but all of the move definitions on all of the units are updated. All the pathfinding is different, and it's like, that's partly because I knew that we needed to make changes or Legion's never going to make it in. So like, we've been able to reform things that have been exactly the same, I mean like unchanged for 20-something years in this game, you know, just for being here. So really small things are necessary in order to build on top of this game that already exists. You know, Bar already exists, it's great, we could release it now, we could be on Steam. It would be fine, but we're doing a lot more. We're improving the game a lot more than just releasing it onto Steam just because we already had some success. So I mean, I want to keep going, even if we do end up splitting off Legion units into the other factions. You know, we're gonna just keep on developing it. This is entirely about improving the game for us.
Yeah, and I just want to say I've always been super vocal, or tried to be super vocal, about the fact that I think that Legion introduces like a triangular effect to the balance of this game that is one of the reasons why I feel like probably the most popular RTS game of all time, StarCraft, was so successful. And I think it's huge. I think it's hard for me to like put into words exactly how like monstrous of an impact that is, because it means that suddenly this dynamic isn't like a mirror. Like, you're not just looking at the same thing. You know, Cortex just has like a parallel unit of whatever Armada has, and vice versa. Suddenly there's like interplay between units, so the diversity between all those becomes even heavier.
Yeah. I mean, I think that scouting people's starting strategies is going to become really important soon.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know if your opponent is Armada or Cortex or Legion, and their capabilities are going to be just a little bit more differentiated, so that you need this information. And we saw what happened with the meta when scouts became combat units, right? And they're very good at combat. Ticks are amazing at combat, actually. And if they're just valuable just for having them, just for having scouts, you know, and just for having, you know, a wheel with a gun on top, then it doesn't have to be good. It can just be a scout. Bar's gonna have to evolve constantly for maybe forever. But that is something that like a lot of people want. As long as it's in the direction of improvement, as long as we're not, I don't know how to say it, like rejecting changes or producing changes because of some negative behavior or whatever. Co-op is the hilarious example. That as long as we're directionally improving the game.
Oh, sorry, I was clenched up.
Yep.
Phew! Anyways, I agree with you. I guess I would sit comfortably in that camp that does feel like bars should be improving constantly. I don't know. It's easy for me to say that when I'm not the one developing it, right? I recognize that. But
I just mean that, like, as a consequence of change, like, say, we're gonna feel all the pressure points. I don't want to keep the pace too ridiculous because, seriously, just knowing what faction your opponent is means that scouts are strong. It's something that's gonna happen, and they will probably lose a little bit of combat capability, or they'll be more expensive, or maybe we'll make them super cheap because it's not that they're super strong now, it's that they're necessary to have in order to play the game. Like the balance team's gonna figure that out. If you need scouts on the enemy base because we've diversified the factions too much and their capabilities too much, then we're gonna give you that ability. We have all of these tools to fix all of the future problems, and everything else is just doomsaying, just just catastrophizing the future. But it's going to be totally fine. We're definitely going to figure out solutions to both the problems that the community knows about and the problems that the community has not had to think about yet. We have those waiting in the wings, and we can do that.
how many people knew if you killed a unit in the lab, it stops it from producing entirely? That's hilarious. Oh no, the shuriken! Oh well. I think in terms of like diversifying units, that's something I've always harped on a lot, is like, will we ever have the opportunity to see like Legion and Cortex pulled away from like, I'll say my controversial take is that like I feel like plasma weapons shouldn't exist in this game. Like I feel like they're kind of an antiquated catch-all for like thing that does damage.
Yep.
And if we had like each faction has their own kind of technology, and it does exactly the same thing, but it just looks different, suddenly the personality of each faction is way clearer.
Yeah, that's true, and that's something that Darcus has worked on a ton. So I really hope to see the progress happen on that. We have this big faction redesign that we did, all the future planning that we got done, all the project management work got done, and then and when that hit reality, right, then suddenly people wanted to get involved and pump the brakes. So it'll get done. It's just gonna happen one way or another. We're not gonna roll over anybody's body, but we're gonna get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also, hello, I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome. We're talking about the idea of diversified weapon types and whether factions will see that move away from things like plasma weapons, which is just kind of like a general catch-all towards more like really specific things. Like Armada will be, to take it to the logical extreme, Armada would be like entirely lightning, and Cortex would be all heavy lasers or flamethrowers or whatever it would be, something like that.
Yeah. I reckon plasma doesn't necessarily have to be removed. I guess just altered, either aesthetically or mechanical-wise, across factions.
What would you say you would give Legion?
I guess
or not,
a lot of
Core.
Well, Cortex, I guess it can stay the same, like sort of high arc, heavy hitters, but Armada's got like the fast fire plasma. That's already been sort of tested with the new naval defense.
Oh, that's right, huh? So Armada would stay, they would keep plasma?
I guess
Totally
it'd be
theory
altered.
crafting here. Not asking for like your definitive decision,
of
just where you could imagine it going.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on what the plans are for Armada, like what weapons are they going to use in the future. Because I can see lasers and cortex being replaced with the laser cannon ones.
Yes, the cataphract, you mean.
Yes.
Is there a term for that? I always call it a turbo laser.
It is specifically a laser cannon, but I've been calling it like energy blaster in the back when in the planning.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like that blaster name for the different sound effect and the different kind of like damage profile on that really short burst. So blaster is something that I went with.
It does come from. It does come from the Commando, which is its laser is called the Commando Blaster.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I was basing it on. There was an extra unit made. Gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. It's because it got renamed like 5 times. That's why.
Yep.
Was it the? I thought it came from the saber. That's interesting. Is it? Are those?
No, it doesn't come from the saber.
The saber steal it from the.
I think so.
I see.
I don't know where the saber weapon originates from though.
Try and pull something off here.
One thing about the plasma as the main weapon for so many units is that you can micro around it, you can dodge the shots. You can't really do that with lasers and lightning and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty important gameplay element of it.
Yeah, it is. That matters a lot to Bar.
Especially
Bar has a lot
P1
of
with
things. Bar has a lot of things where if you're paying too close of attention, you're wasting your own time, and just the delay on plasma arc is one of those things. Where your attention goes to and what's economic and what's not economic for you to do matters a lot. And we have to preserve like a lot of really unusual details that which are definitely gonna be like, you know, plasma is slow. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Plasma is pretty slow, and it's that's something certainly I haven't considered often, and I'm sure a lot of other people as well. Is like that's a balance element, not just it's not just how it works canonically in the game. I have a hard time separating that, right? Like this is a.
You should spend some amount of time looking at your line, but you shouldn't be watching every single projectile as it lofts into the air, and now it's in the air, and it's coming at you, and it's almost landed, and it's about to land, and okay, it landed. You know, like that's an incredible waste of your time. You should be paying attention to your economy. Like force generation is a really big part of Bar. Base design is a really big part of Bar. And you put stress on that, the more that you make the combat really snappy. It's just like a limit of what human beings are capable of doing, and we can't try to push that limit too much. We're not trying to become, you know, StarCraft, right?
Yeah.
Even though, like, yeah, StarCraft has really good design, it's a totally different game.
Right, your units.
So I don't want to get rid of plasma totally, but if we make an analog, you know, it'll have some loft underneath it, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what this desync means. What is?
I think you are desynced actually, but I don't.
How do I resolve this? I didn't actually do an epic cacophony drop. That I hallucinated the entire thing.
It is saying Bright is getting desync error at the top.
Okay. You leave the battle and rejoin.
Yeah, you're like not even making anything. You've got 10 cacophonies in the base that are just doing nothing. Or they are doing something, but they're just there.
That's really interesting. I haven't seen one of those in a good hot minute. Okay.
I think the last time I saw a desync error was of my own doing.
It's possible I've done this to myself. I have no idea whether these tweak units are real or not.
Does anybody remember the time when I first implemented the Legion Commander? And regardless of what lobby you were on, even if Legion was enabled or not, there would be desync errors on the second match.
Huh.
Yeah, I do remember, but I didn't know that was the pattern. So that is really interesting.
It was to do with the Legion Commander having an invalid parameter called like push resistance or something.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah.
And it would just, yeah, you'd be playing 4-dimensional chess after a match or two.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting stuff. We still have some really interesting desyncs, and I've asked multiple times for someone who has access to the logs, which has like private information in them. So that's why I don't have them, right? But like, there are desyncs that are totally resolvable that I could definitely fix, but I am not allowed to look at them. So we'll get them done. It's just a matter of somebody like posting them into my DMs one day.
Yep.
Yeah.
How does a desync even occur? Like, or well, I mean, I guess it can happen for a bunch of different reasons. But what does that mean? Like that you're desynced? Like how can you continue playing even though you're not synced up with everyone?
Right. It's easier to describe what being synchronized is. Being synchronized means that you have run the exact same code as everyone else. So it occurs when we write code that is not deterministic in some way. When there's something that we haven't controlled and that we use anyway, because controlling everything is really slow, it would make the game performance worse. So we just have to write correct code essentially. And like one of the things that I'm concerned with is a rehashing that happens in some tables, which can happen at different times for you depending on your computer architecture. So anything that is based on your computer is like, in theory, it's to make the program behave really intelligently, really smart, and to perform well on your device. But in reality, what it's going to do is desynchronize you. So we have to optimize our code in a totally different way than the really lazy modern way of optimizing code, which is, let the compiler do it. We cannot let the compiler do it because it'll break everything.
Press button, submit.
What did you mean by that? Press button, submit, like?
Just sort of the modern way of game development at the moment. A lot of times, especially in AAA, they will do the simple solutions that are provided to them, such as, things like Nanite or whatever that Unreal Engine 5 uses, where yes, it does optimize an asset or something, for example, but you're going to get really poor performance because they've done it in this quick and nasty way. So I guess an example of this is a lot of Unreal Engine 5 assets are, I will say this lightly, cinema grade models. So they're very high quality 3D scans of like real world objects, like a rock face or whatever with like 2 billion faces. What Nanite's trying to do is optimize that mesh in real time, and so you just end up with so many faces regardless.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
2
good.
billion is a bit of an exaggeration, but even then, you should not. The rock face in the distance should still not be 10,000 faces.
Yeah.
Which you can easily do with a single quad, if you know what you're doing.
So it comes down to optimization to like reduce the chance of a desynchronization.
Can, yeah, and but it's mostly just software architecture. It's just a correct way of writing, dynamically resizing things, lists of things in Lua, and we have to be careful that we abide by that. We can write as many desyncs as we feel like making if we just if we stop paying attention to our code quality.
Right, there's no rule against it. It's just gonna cause
Nothing will
problems.
stop you. Yeah. Nothing will stop you.
Something on your end hasn't triggered that happened on everyone else's end.
I see. It is literally a parallel timeline where you exist in a different universe that is being simulated.
This game literally runs on parallel timelines.
So how can I be running a simulation that everybody else isn't, and the game doesn't detect that? It doesn't like stop me from playing or something.
Something changed, and it altered your timeline, pretty much.
Yeah, so the thing that we compare against to see if basically, the timeline has diverged is just called a checksum. It's the sum of your entire game state. It doesn't tell us what specific thing is off, just that the sum of everything that you're doing right now is wrong somehow.
I see.
So it can be difficult to diagnose. Obviously, it's literally difficult to diagnose, but part of that is even just because we can't dump game state very efficiently at the moment. Like the save load system has differences. Whenever you save a game and reload it, there are really minor differences in the new game that you just loaded. And any minor difference whatsoever would desynchronize you, right? So there are like huge technical challenges to overcome to make this system perfect, to get detection that is perfect, and it's much more worth it to pay attention to our code quality and know where these issues are and resolve them than to go rebuild the universe. So that's the angle that we've taken, and seriously, once I get those logs, once I can just see where that error occurs, the stack traces that I have are really simple errors with known causes and known solutions, for me anyway. So you know, I'll get even more of the desyncs cut down, probably within a couple of months. We just haven't done. We do this big dump of all of the errors that have happened over the last month or whatever, and we dump it in a big post, and then we go over it. So when that happens, I'll be able to catch a lot more things.
Interesting. What does it mean when you have a desync error that's like reduced? This is actually kind of along a different lines of questioning here, but what is it that how do you track that internally, like with Beyond All Reason? Is that like do you guys do like bug posts, or how do the quality pushes go?
So I get the stack trace in an error log feed. Like there's just a feed in Discord actually, and that's pretty common practice. You can just collate all of your errors and post the top of the stack trace. That's the top of the stack trace is what the error message is. So I have to guess where is this error in code, what line is it on. Sometimes it doesn't have that information in it. It all depends on like how well crafted your error messages are, whether or not I can just guess what it is and fix it. Yeah, and you know, that's work too. Just writing correct error messages is work. So you would just allocate human labor to a task, and some tasks take longer than others. Yeah, that's it. So.
Right. Well, okay. How does Beyond All Reason stack up? Because you've got a lot of experience in this space, right?
Not in games, but in managing, you know, larger tech stacks. Yeah, I mean, I've worked in IT for governments and things like that. So, you know, I'm accustomed to having to even manage like errors where I can't see the personal information behind it, right?
Right.
To protect your identity, to protect whatever.
HIPAA compliance and whatnot.
To keep me from working on, you know, like this bug only happens for Republicans, you know. Like, yeah, like who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah. You just want your whole system to be fair. So like
Right.
Everything is fair. It's forcibly fair. As much as you can bother with anyway, because that's work too. So
Yeah.
I think that we have relatively high transparency, given the fact that, you know, I don't want to know your IP address or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't
Right.
care about that at all.
No, that's kind of interesting, and that's all the like technical nitty gritty that I wanted to let you guys showcase, because nobody, you know, I feel like very rarely you're gonna get an opportunity to show that off otherwise. But it is
and
important.
like, you don't need to know this information at all, except for you know, we're professionals to some degree, right? A lot of us might not be professionals, but a lot of us are professionals, and we'll yell at everyone else. So it's
Right.
fun. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. What is the maybe we can use this as a segue then. What is the new lobby system that has been teased and trailed and otherwise shown around?
It's so incredible. It's actually available. I mean, you can use the new lobby if you go and find it and install it yourself. You know, there's instructions that you have to follow. But like, I mean, it's amazing. We watched a couple days ago somebody simulated crashing the servers and then bringing the server back up, and everyone just automatically rejoining the lobby that they were just in.
Oh wow.
I mean, yes, because the protocol is also being developed along with the new lobby, new protocol, new everything. So like, this old server stack that's been bothering people is just going away. It's just going to be gone. It's like a miracle. You know, normally people describe the silver bullet to you and you don't believe them, but like, I just want you guys to believe it, because we built a brand new thing. It is a brand new thing. It's awesome.
Well, that's really cool. And so it sounds like it's going to help a lot in both regards, like towards the back end, you know, for finding problems and solving problems, but then also like it's going to be a better experience for players that are playing the game as well, because then they're not, you know, not as many, I guess not as many errors, but not as many errors that go unresolved.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, everything about it is an improvement, and the only reason it's not done is because like the people working on it aren't satisfied. Like they'll put it out when they say it's feature complete, and by that they mean 100% feature complete. So.
Okay.
But on the route to 100%, you already have a usable product, right? It's usable right now, and people are using it.
Yeah. What's that term? Least viable product.
Right. Yeah. We hit that a little while ago, so that's been an awesome effort. Definitely we'll have some interviews with those guys at some point. I think.
I would hope so.
That'll be actual technical talk though, so I wanna maybe not while playing the game.
Yeah. Probably fair. That's one of those things that impresses me about the Beyond Our Reason community in general, is I feel like it's a very technical community. Like I feel like there's a lot of, more so than a lot of other online video game communities, there's a lot of people that are very technically minded and considerate about that kind of thing to a much more impressive degree. Maybe I'm reading into things a little too more. Maybe I've surrounded myself with some of the best devs that I've come to meet so far. So maybe there's a little bit of a bias there, but it does always stand out to me.
We have a lot of how to put it, like our logic is really distributed, so it's not necessarily a benefit to be like super highly technical. Like you would expect already on arriving to read the code, you would expect the code to be different than what it is, because it's been built up by a lot of enthusiasts over time. So it really is valuable to have someone who's enthusiastic about the work rather than overly technical, because they're actually pretty likely to see the work through.
That's a good point.
I don't want to overemphasize professionalism, because we're built by a ton of volunteers who are just folk who wanted to see something done and did it. That's been an incredible contribution, and one thing that I want to see renewed, by the way, message to the community: stop disabling widgets. We made it a little bit easier soon to re-enable widgets, because a lot of people got onboarded to the project just through wanting to see something during the game and making a custom widget to do it just for themselves and then sharing it. Like that's a pipeline that maybe we tightened up a little bit too much over the last year, and the community's been disabling widgets a little bit too much over the last year. Like that's actually it's kind of a concerning sign that the people who we've added as new contributors lately have been longtime contributors. So
what do you mean? Like they've been contributing but not as contributors? As
right,
mod
yeah. So
makers or something like that?
here's a little bit of like terminology clashing, where when I call someone a bar contributor, that means they have access to all of the private channels and everything. You can be a contributor just by donating, any code at all to the code base. That's literally what a contributor is just
Right.
someone who
Okay.
put in any change. But then like we have the set of bar contributors, which is a different list.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And like so, we got a lot of people onboarded like too late in the first place. Like Bar got all of this enthusiasm, and enthusiasm was like the main word to define it by. And then we still gave people, actual contributor status like too late, because they've been here for like a year and a half, 2 years. But then I see that pipeline slowing down, maybe 4 months from now, and like it feels bad to think that we won't have any new people to onboard. Maybe that would be a worst case, but
Yeah, it's a
I
sad
really
day.
want to see custom widgets re-enabled so that we can get some of the widget developers who I know who have made widgets but don't have any community penetration right now. Like they don't have any market share, basically. Like they won't get contributor status if no one cares about anything that they ever made, and it never gets merged to the game, right?
Right. You can't see what they've built, and it's impossible to do it. Well, that's one of the things that I love doing, on these live streams, is showcasing that sort of a progress. Just, whatever random thing it is, the mods people make, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I've always found super difficult is, it's very easy to show off the high octane mods, the stuff that's very, flashy and easy for anybody to be like, whoa, that's really cool. But the stuff that doesn't get all the attention is like, I'm trying to think of an example, but for instance, one that I really like was this widget. It's actually something I've asked for the longest time. Is this what is it called? Strategic construction tracker that shows all the different important buildings that have popped up. And so I've enabled it right here in this match. It's mainly for my casting, but it works great in game because it shows you who's working on a T2 lab, who's working on fusions, who's working on all this different stuff. It gives you kind of the progress of it. And I just use that as an example because it's like that came about from what you said about the passion of somebody that loved the game and wanted to, you know, make an improvement where they saw a room for improvement, and then did it fantastically.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some of our really cool UI stuff comes from really closer to the enthusiast crowd who are. And like one thing that comes to mind is like coaching. I don't see a ton of coaching widgets, but I do want to. I want to see somebody who can make better, even better spectating widgets than we have, kind of like what you're talking about.
And where does Legion fit into that? Are we gonna get any custom Legion-centric campaign missions, scenarios, that sort of a thing?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, if Legion's official, then it's gonna have its own campaign, right? So that'll be part of it.
Has there been any thought on Legion lore? That's a question the chat has
yeah.
been asking me all day today.
Yeah.
There
So
has?
I mean, we've been holding
Yep.
out on lore for forever. It's basically been all written. It's been shown to, you know, at least I think most of the contributors have had access to all the drafts for a long time, and it's just when we give it over to everyone, you know, one of the formats that the lore is going to be in is the campaign missions. One of the formats is going to be just, you know, like a just a lore dump, right?
Yeah.
Massive amount of exposition. You know, some of the formats are going to be in the units. Like, you know, if we reshape anything from here on out, we have what we call the faction design document. It's going to be the actual lore behind the faction is going to be used to redesign anything that gets rebuilt ever again. And that's been really cool. And like, you know, the whole time that we were designing Legion, we had a lore in mind.
Okay.
And that's baked into a lot of the unit design, and we got better and better at that over time. Definitely, I was talking about like the Archivist rework, and that was like, you know, that was basically perfect. That's what we wanted.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. Is like, is there a when Legion, you know, when a lot of these went from kit bashes and rough concepts to like their actual locked in full-fledged models, was there a centralized sort of vision, like a, you know, a document like that? It sounds like you're saying, yeah, that was core the entire time.
Yeah, we did that, and you know, everyone gets kind of late arriving to these types of things in Legion dev. Like now that we have a really solid idea of what that vision is going to be, you know, there's more rejection about it.
Right.
Anytime that we solidify anything, anytime it's not just an experiment anymore, you kind of open yourself up to someone saying no, actually. So we're finally getting, you know, more broad feedback from the team, and like people were asking even just for like there were modelers who aren't involved in Legion, for instance, and they were kind of asking like, well, you know, can I get a list of adjectives to describe Legion? And you know, we look at the documents and like, yeah, we don't have just a list of adjectives for you to go by, you know, like, yeah, sure, we should do that. There's a lot that we didn't think about, a lot we didn't do, so it'll keep developing. But like, other than that, just like self-contained sort of Legion dev team, like that was taken care of a long time ago.
That's really cool. I mean, I had no idea. I try and stay up to date, but that's really cool to see that that's so, you know,
Because it's documentation. Like it's super boring to talk about, actually. Did you document your development process? And we're like, yeah, we did. You know. Yeah,
yeah, I can see where that doesn't, you know, hold the public's eye new as intensely as the flashy new Soul Invictus or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Exactly.
But it is important, and that's really cool, because I think it gives a lot of people confidence. One of the sentiments that I feel like I've heard, which is just so unfortunate, but is that like people just rush to say, you know, they lose a match to Legion, somebody playing Legion, and they just say like, oh, this is horribly imbalanced. Nobody thought this through. Like this is just ridiculous. And that grinds my gears every time, because now having had these conversations with you guys and the whole team in general, it's like, no, there's actually a lot more thought that went into all this, and I hope it becomes apparent.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, I want people to say, like, you know, they messed this up, right? Like, they made a mistake. That's fine. But, like, you know, there's been suggestions that were, like, borderline malicious, and that's just not true.
You guys have been ruining the game for years.
Yeah,
you're trying to undermine
gamer agenda.
You're undermining core gamer values that have been long held in the community. It's unbelievable.
Sometimes by accident, right? Like, yeah, accidentally, not on purpose.
Or even if on purpose.
Yeah, if we
I
broke
mean,
something for a week and we didn't notice, like, sorry, I literally didn't notice. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. How could you make a mistake?
Yeah,
This is
it
unheard
happens.
of.
It happens. Sorry, guys.
Now, is there any other plans for Legion as far as like new units or anything to expect? Will the experimental roster be getting fleshed out any further?
I was poking about the nuke sub earlier. We're missing like a nuke sub and maybe a floating shield. So like there's the missing stuff. It's extra units, so maybe people don't think it's missing, but it is missing.
Epic.
That's
Bastion.
yeah.
That's been a long time coming for sure.
Yep. So I think that is probably next, right?
One thing I was thinking about is a epic rampart, where it's
Oh.
essentially two or three ramparts stacked on top of each other, but it's still a geothermal.
Just a really screwed up looking rampart. Yeah.
That'd be
An
fantastic.
Epic geothermal.
Yep.
But I'll have to discuss that further. I haven't shared that idea with anyone yet.
I wonder what the nearest mech spot is to a geothermal, and then just use that as like the footprint size.
Ooh.
Biggest possible geothermal.
Yeah, but you still have to make it with a weird pattern for the placement.
Uh-huh.
All the geothermals have a weird footprint / yard
yeah.
map, so that they can be stacked on top of each other when they're upgraded. Same with the metal extractors.
Well, that's just the middle. So if you increase the footprint size, you just put that pattern in the middle. It's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow,
I
progress
don't know
being
if I'm
made
wrong
live.
about that or not, by the way. Maybe.
Might be.
Yeah.
It's got to be compatible with other factions ones though.
Yeah.
Are they all different?
No.
All the geos have different footprints.
If it's an epic, there's no other. Wait. So we only need them to be compatible for upgrades and side grades. So if it's a T3 geothermal, then it doesn't have any upgrades or side grades. It's fine.
True.
Yeah.
Unless we do.
Unless we do.
Is that that was a mod I saw somebody had made a little while ago? Was the T3 geothermals mod? That was very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we
And,
can steal from we can steal from the community.
It was there you go. It was a great start. There was I
Uh-huh.
think Armada had like a spy geothermal. It's like a Twilight but amped up to 10,000.
Oh, what an unfortunate nuke.
Steal from 0K.
Yep.
That's right.
And I think there was Cortex's was like an amped up Cerberus. I think it was just a super Cerb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot we have the new advanced metal metal converter model too.
Oh yeah, looking very interesting.
Oh, very nice.
And here I halfway expected the top to spin around a little bit.
I think it's better not having them spin.
It would be so disorienting. Yeah. No, it does look great. Who did the modeling for that one?
I believe this one was also Protar. I'll have to double check.
Okay.
I see
No, it's
the
very
sound
nice.
hasn't been added to it yet.
It's definitely
Okay. All right.
it stays in line with the whole Legion as defined, kind of by being very different looking. Like all their technology doesn't look like it. It looks like they took a different approach to figuring out
Right.
E-conversion or whatever.
Yeah, they do have kind of a different technological base, whatever it is. It's different somehow. Yeah.
I will say we do have two pretty major tasks we need to get done that I guess none of us really have the energy to do at the moment, and that is adding lights to all the new units and making sure all the sound. I guess this is the easier one, but making sure all the units have a sound. Because if it doesn't have a sound, it just makes the Armada constructor sound.
Oh,
So
just as a
it's
default.
little
actually
weird.
funny you say that because I did actually add to one unit. I did actually add like all the bells and whistles and the lights and searchlights and stuff. Guess which one that is?
Solid
The
Victus.
the temporary anti-nuke that's getting replaced.
Oh my god, true.
Oh man. Okay.
No,
That unit
that's
kind of needs it.
that's for meme value. It matters.
Yes, exactly.
What do you mean?
I
This
I
is
do.
completely 100% done in 24 hours.
I do add essential lights. Like if it's something like the new shipyard, I use lights to show which way the it's facing.
That is important.
Yes, they're like the lights you see on like airports, the guiding lights. I don't know how to put it, but they're really
Landing
really
strip
cool.
lights.
They're really yeah, exactly. But for like the shipyard it's pretty
Guides.
cool. Okay, so I wanted to say actually chime in and say I'm have to head out now. That's about all the time I got for today. I'm glad I could speak, but more than anything, I'm glad other members of the team could speak as well. Hopefully, Jonathan Crimson comes in sometime soon, as he did say he would be, and then you guys can have he'll be replacing me essentially in the chat roster. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on Brightworks, and thank you Boneless, Darcus, and Ender who left a little while ago for coming on and making time for us today.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Steph. Appreciate you joining us. Are there any notes that I forgot to bring up? Anything at all? Oh, well, there he goes. Okay. Guess
yeah,
not.
he's out of here. I think that I'm running dry on like interesting topics, and everything else is just it's just the work, which I don't like to burden the community with. It's just the work is the work. So
Yep.
yeah, nothing else really.
Is there anything else that that the community can do to help Legion along? What feedback can they give? What is useful to you guys?
Honestly,
Your team in general. I mean,
anything.
anything.
Honestly, engine related.
Ah, okay.
Sure.
Engine related optimizations. Maybe. Did the builder mixes ever get fixed?
Advanced metal fortifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
What
Yeah,
was
the
broken?
I mean,
fortifier
those
was
things-
improved.
Something like that. The printer also needs to be base games at some point.
Yeah, the poor printer, man. That thing, I know that people have seen bits and pieces of this. It's basically had like 4 or 5 separate attempts at implementing the fix for it, so we're just...
The
I mean-
printer.
lessons learned there, I think.
with the rework to how rear spots work, I could see
Uh-huh.
the printer just being its single unit now instead of 2.
Right. Yeah, we can do a lot more work now than before, but the question is like, do we want to do workarounds or do we want to wait longer, or it's entirely a management question, and management questions take an extra 3 months to answer in VAR. So yeah, it's because even the ownership of VAR is like they just love this game. That's their thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Nobody would
nobody's
contest
full-time
that.
job. Yeah.
Is there a place where Legion? I know there's the Legion forum in the main bar Discord. Would that be the place for people to go if they have some sort of any engine feedback or something that you requested?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just talk to
We
us
do
there.
also have the engine channel as well,
Oh, there's one specifically for it. Okay.
but also there's also specifically the engine GitHub.
Yeah, if you want to filter your conversation through us, we can just kind of tell you where to go. But there is probably a place to go for any topic already, yeah.
Okay. Good to hear. That's one
Yeah,
of the
we have-
things. I feel like a lot of people get decision paralysis when looking at the Beyond No Reason Discord because there's a lot of channels.
It's true. It has channel poisoning. I don't even have those channels visible mostly.
Right.
And it's just because I'm working on stuff. Whenever I stop working on stuff, I unhide more channels because it's a huge time waster actually for me. But like as far as like onboarding developers or someone dropping into, we have a channel that's dev main where you obviously can ask development questions and we'll reroute you. Please read the pins. Read the pins and then ask your question. That's about it.
Cool.
Like I personally need someone who can write GLSL, because I cannot write GLSL. You know, like I'm blocked on a Legion development issue right now because I can't write shader code.
Oh.
You know, like I just never did. It's not that I can't; it's that I never have.
That was an idea I had a long time ago that never really went anywhere. Was the idea of a bounty board, and it was basically a place where developers like yourself could go and request that sort of a thing. You know, if you need a very specific talent set, and then or if you wanted a, you know, somebody wanted a mod, it was like, I want all the units to be 100% bigger. You know, whatever it is, they could go there and request different bounties to be placed, and then you know, a bounty pool would be selected for it, or however it would be decided. I always thought that'd be kind of a fun community thing.
Yeah, you can request widgets, but like I kind of already went over requests. Even requests for widgets are down because, you know, custom widget use is down. So we do kind of have that process set up. Obviously, we have issues on all of our GitHubs. We have separate GitHub repositories, and we have issues listed on all of them. We have pull requests that have stalled in that I've tagged with needs implementer because, you know, the person who was working on this voluntarily, you know, of their own will is gone, and we need somebody to take it the final mile. There's a lot that people can do. There's a lot of places to get involved, and I know that that's overwhelming. But just saying, you know, I have this skill set, and I like this part of the game. You know, is there anything in that area that I can do? So, you know, that's the easiest thing that you can do, and we can point you around.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I've basically exhausted my question bank as well here.
Yeah, that's it. That's I just think that we've talked about everything that's like super interesting to the community, and you know, everything else is basically just managing the game. You can basically just talk about the game at this point and watching.
Is there how did the Astraeus come to be? Because this is one of my favorite units in the game. In fact, it might even be my favorite unit in the game. I just love this thing.
I had an
don't know
idea.
much about the process.
What was that, Thars?
I had an idea. Walking long range plasma cannon.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
as simple
I mean,
as
it
that
is
sometimes.
just an Olympus on legs. Yeah.
It was my response to the current issue of flagships. There was a lot of debate around the flagships, and I was like, how about we just test something specifically to kill flagships?
Oh, okay. So as a flagship killer, that actually makes a lot of sense, because that was something I've discovered quite recently, is that yeah, LRPCs are actually pretty good at killing flagships.
I'll never forget this one quote. I think it's from I think Watch the Fort said it. He said extendo Sheldon as in reference to flagships. I'll have to find the quote.
It's a long range. It is quite literally a long range Sheldon.
Yeah, it was from Watch the Fort.
That's funny.
Long Sheldon.
Extra long Sheldon goes hard.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Ooh.
There you go.
That was
I'll
probably
put it
before
in.
the cluster rebalance, when cluster was kind of ticklish.
Put it in main.
Now the Astraeus really does, you know, cost a bunch of energy and it hits really hard. Oh man, it is over. Incredible.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a lot of cloaked tanks in the background. Jeez. Oh, his Aphis stack's about to pop. Oh no! A Nonyx!
Oh,
No. Okay.
Rip. There goes the build power. Oh. Yikes.
Oh man. Oh no, a minor misplay. There it is. Alright.
Brutal.
Yep, that was it. I don't know how you pulled this one out.
Yeah, that's the majority of our firepower down.
It was very funny to see that coming. I'm so sorry.
And I mean, we can see that he even had the tremor sense, but dang. Easy
I
come,
do,
easy go.
do a cake for him in spectator.
Just feeding these.
Did I join
Have
in
you
collect?
used the new Starfall yet?
I got a very quick glimpse of it. It's a great point. Why don't we just do that? I don't need to mess around with
It is a
the
little
Aphis.
harder right now already to get to the full cannon stage, so I guess it'll see less use, but the weapon itself rules.
What was that? You said it's a cannon or something?
Oh, I said, let's see, is my mic up? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it is just a little bit harder to build the end game super cannons right now.
Okay.
I just think they're not very meta, you know?
Yeah.
So I haven't seen them in lobbies a ton, even though people have tried.
Yeah, they're definitely I mean, I don't know, the Sol Invictus is so good. it's difficult to justify it. No, I love it though. I feel like the rework for it has definitely brought it more in line with kind of the other end game cannons, wall cannons. It feels much more I don't know. It feels much more like it's supposed to be on par with those rather than kind of its own like weird design. There is some nostalgia about the old one, definitely. It's a
Yeah,
bummer to
people
see
are gonna
that
miss
go.
that. They're gonna miss it. It was so unique that it became identifying.
Yeah.
So you wonder if a shadow of the past might return one day, but who knows?
The epic Starfall.
Right, exactly, and it's just an enormous hexagon.
It should be the same hexagon as it was, but then each one of those little dots in the hexagon is one of these barrels in there. Just get 6 of them. I think it just might work. What about the epic shields? Where did those come from? Did that start with Legion? I feel like Legion was the first time I noticed those, but I don't know if it was that's where
I
it
believe
started.
it was the shield rework.
Yeah, okay. A lot of bombers.
There's a lot of aircraft.
Just a bunch of airplanes, nothing to worry about. The hardest part about building a Starfall: 400 energy storages.
The entry cost.
Yeah.
It's a little bit unique, and that's again like just something that we're figuring out. Like, should you have to do this for super weapon?
That's annoying. Alright, well.
It was about to fire. Oh, what the?
Dang.
Oh, nuke drill.
Dang.
It's still fired somehow.
I gave it to the purple commander. I found the closest stack of Aphis and handed it over. Don't think it did much against the shields, though.
Don't think they have enough.
A slow and attritional game of beyond all reason.
That's what lava
Everyone's
does.
bases has been trimmed.
Yeah, everybody loves lava, but then your game goes for an hour.
Blue team is just all sprawl at the moment.
Uh-huh.
All of these bases were very all over the place.
I've been waiting on this push from Red for a long time, actually, so...
These
They're
Sol have
just
been
pulling the
building
trigger
up.
now.
These Astraeus have
Yeah.
been picking us apart, though, the entire game.
Yep.
Love the design of the nuke, by the way. That's another beautiful piece of Legion kit. The Pill of Destiny.
A pill of doom.
Alright, there's the resign.
Yeah.
Winnable.
If something's wrong if you're getting pushed by artillery units.
Well, the Sol are in front. They're doing their job.
Yeah. Yeah, the tempo is being set by the soul here, and everything else is clean up. Oh dang, these Phoenix could get crazy value. No, they turned around. No. No. You can't use Phoenixes against Sol Invictus. It's just too inefficient.
Really?
It's just too inefficient.
I'm surprised. I really feel like Sol Invictuses, or Phoenixes rather, are like pretty good at melting everything.
We're good at everything, but like you look at all this jam-packed
Beautiful nuke.
value in 9 Astreus right behind all of the Sol Invictus.
Beautiful nuke hit literally nothing.
Did it miss all the Astreus right there?
There's
It missed
they
all the
stayed in
Astreus and
place.
all the souls.
Now they're moving up.
No.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that lava pit is going to take out some Astreus in a second.
Oh yeah.
You dug a very efficient hole, actually.
I think the Astreus have done the most damage to their own Solendus.
Yeah. These have been incredibly efficient.
Oh,
Dang.
Wow, that is a deep lava pit.
a second later that would have taken out half the bombers.
There they go. Filling the skies.
GG's.
Oh, boy.
GG, guys.
GG. Very nice.
Very efficient base building on red. Check that out.
Yeah, they were packed.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very highly condensed. I'm surprised more of them didn't chain react when we slipped those nukes through, frankly. What's a what's a core
it about
strategy or Legion strategy rather you guys would prefer?
Oh, server crash.
There you go. Fresh for the logs.
All right. I'm going to go back to remediation, and it's good talking to everybody.
Alrighty. Thanks a ton.
Bye. Yep.
I think I'll stick around for one more game.
Sounds good. Crimson, welcome.
Well, hello there.
Hello. Would you care to introduce yourself, sir? You snuck in and I didn't realize because I was focused on getting absolutely demolished in game.
That tends to happen. Not specifically to you, but just in general.
No, it happens to me a lot. I won't deny it.
All right.
But
well,
welcome.
Yeah, so my name is Jonathan Crimson. I'm a 3D modeler and writer for Beyond a Reason, as well as a manga artist on the side. And I've been working on some of the Legion models. I've also been working on a little project that finally got some approval. Yeah, I guess you can do it /sure approval. So I can say that I'm also working on a experimental refresh for Cortex Tier 1 Navy. And yeah, that's currently what I'm working on.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. That gives a whole new feast of topics. We've already covered a lot about Legion, but there's plenty more to talk about in relation to that. What is this rework for Cortex looking like? Can you talk about it, or is it still under wraps?
Well, essentially, since it got the quote-unquote proverbial game design team approval today, then I guess I can send you a single screenshot of what I've worked on so far, and just like a little tease. And well, outside of that, well, you can pull it up on screen if not, if you have that possible.
Yeah, I can
Just need to
try and
find
figure
where I sent it to.
that out.
I had it posted somewhere recently. Oh yeah, because the thing got closed. Oh, it didn't. Alright, I have it.
Oh, there we go. I've been kicked
grabbed
from the
it.
server.
Servers are gone again.
I'll just throw it in the text chat, the group chat.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up for high resolution here.
Yep. That's not everything that I've been working on, but it's like a big part of it.
It's a start.
Yep.
Sorry to everybody I just pinged with the default Windows noise. I know that just drives people crazy.
The default Windows noise.
Yeah.
The highest offense possible.
Yeah. I've made hundreds of people go and check their windows and try and figure out what on earth they're they're hearing right now. No. Okay,
Sorry, you can probably hear music coming over from my mic. Let me just mute Beyond the Reason.
Yeah, that's okay. I think you're okay.
This one's side. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I managed to finally log in. So if you want me to join a game, then I can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll start up a new lobby here in just a second. I'm just showing off these boats that you sent over. That is a very hammer-headed looking something or another.
Well, over here we have 3 ships. The first one is a slightly remodeled Riptide.
Okay.
Going from the bottom.
Okay.
The next one is a possible new unit, which is a missile destroyer.
Ah, okay.
And the last one is the remodeled oppressor. Kinda thinga.
Okay. Wow, so Cortex will finally have to suffer the fate of not being able to shoot backwards. Like the rest of us. Fantastic. Missile destroyer,
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting. Huh.
Yep.
It's like a banisher
It
kind of
also-
missile?
Yeah, it's not the same damage and stats, but it is
You're right.
essentially the same model of the missile.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Just so there's like a visual to put to the cannon.
Yep.
It kind of looks like it. I kind of feel like I recognize the banisher on there, like the way the missile tube looks. It looks very similar.
Yep,
Cool.
that's essentially just a higher resolution version. Also, the missile destroyer in this like experimental balance patch will have the depth charges, while the oppressor has a new just generic herring AA turret on the back.
Ah, okay, interesting. That's actually really interesting. That's something we've been talking about a lot today. Is how Cortex and Armada are going to shift some of their units around based on the way that Legion is worked out. So how Legion has become, Legion has shifted into like having all these differences, especially in their navy for sure. Like for instance, depth charges not being on destroyers, their AA boats being a little more dedicated, that sort of a thing. It's kind of interesting to see that you've already worked on that already. Like it's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll just say that I've been working on this thing for like all of December, and I have a couple of people that I work with regarding the balance of this up and coming mod option. That hopefully, if don't hold me to that, but if I can manage to pull myself together, maybe by the end of this month, the tier 1 Cortex refresh will be like a mod option.
Wow, that's insanely fast progress, sir. Very impressive.
Because there is some bug fixing that needs to be done regarding the missile destroyer, and there is one more boat that's new that I need to finish modeling.
Okay.
Which is a torpedo boat.
Oh, okay. So they are getting their little torpedo gunboat thing.
Yep, that's a thing. Though it's gonna be limited arcs of fire without the turret, so it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, super cool. Well, that gives me a whole new thing to be excited about. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Man, Cortex and Legion leaving Armada in the dust. It's funny.
Soon.
Armada's got its own plans.
Armada does have plans, so you said? Or is that the plans? Either way, that's really, really neat. It's funny, I always think of Armada as like the high-tech faction, like they're always building, crazy technological improvements. It's funny that they now are like dated. They're high-tech as the 80s.
I will give a small spoiler as to one thing I'm planning for Armada, is that hovers are actually going to float.
Hovers
That's
are actually
really
gonna
cool.
float. Huh. Does that mean that lava will no longer be a concern?
Oh, there's still. I mean, lava. The heat still goes upwards, so it's still a concern.
Okay. No cooling coils on the bottom or anything.
No.
Doesn't
Visual
affect.
changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't affect hardly anything except like lava supremismus. I feel like, But you know, for those of
I was
us that enjoy it.
thinking like, I think currently the Armada units look like they're made of plastic. And I sort of have it in my mind, like, if they're made of plastic still, then, like, that's even more reason to have them float over lava. And, like, decay at the same rate as other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, Armada is a pretty fun thing to think about because they're supposed to be the really high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they exemplify the peak of what can be achieved technology-wise. So, like, for example, one of the things that I was thinking for if I get the chance to work on the refresh of Armada Navy, when that will be coming eventually at some point, then I was thinking about repurposing their battleship into a quote-unquote, well, let's call it speedier battleship. And I was thinking about putting some massive fans along the boat that propel it forward faster.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. It'd be
But
cool
yeah.
to see like a hover, like the boat that can switch from hovercraft to, you know, since now Legion has legs on one of their boats, maybe Armada has a boat that switches to
Oh,
hovercraft.
I wouldn't be that ambitious, but a fast battleship is something I'm thinking about.
No, that's really cool. I had have either of you played with the randomizer mod at any point?
I have not.
No,
Oh,
no.
we might have to take a look at that once or twice because that is a
Alright.
a fun one. The randomizer mod, I mean, it does what it says on the tin. It just randomizes all the stats of all the different units.
Oh boy.
And, yeah, and at one point we ended up with a Armada, the battleship, Dreadnought, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
We ended up with a Dreadnought that had like 3 times as much speed as it normally has, and about twice as much range, and a little bit more damage.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, you can just imagine how ridiculous that is, but fun things like that happen a lot in the randomizer.
Yep. Oh yeah, one thing you can do, if you want to currently try out my quote-unquote design philosophy for Cortex boats, if you throw in the extra units mod option, there is the Black Prince
Yep.
long-range battleship for Cortex. That I made that.
Really?
So,
Oh, okay.
yes.
I've been waiting to hear about this boat. So, from what we heard earlier, other members that joined us today, the boat was kind of the earliest concept of splitting the bombardment aspect of capital ships with like the brawling aspect of capital ships. What are your thoughts there?
Well, the story for it is kind of funny because listen, I like the ship models in Beyond the Reason as any other guy, but I thought that they don't look that much like ships. So I just decided for myself to do a little concept sketch, which actually I might be able to pull up because I have it on my PC, of what it would look like if Cortex would make a World War II era battleship.
Ah, that's kind
And
of cool.
okay, I found it, so I can throw it in the chat if you want that.
Sure.
And after I posted it as fan art, I thought to myself, you know what, I can make it an extra unit. And then I figured out that, I was informed that our balance lead, Zekris, was actually thinking about doing something like that at some point in the past. So I decided I'm going to reach out to them to talk about the balance of this unit. And that's how we have it in extra units currently. And well, hopefully, if I manage to get my remade flagship finished eventually for Cortex, then maybe it's gonna come into the main game alongside that.
Oh wow. Well, that's kind of cool. So there is actually a chance that we see the Hydra moved into base game at some point.
Yep. I guess I can also throw in a singular picture since I'm already throwing in stuff that I've been teasing it in the dev channels. So if they're gonna kick me for doing this, then oh well, whatever. I guess they're not getting cool boats then.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm happy to show off anything you want to here, but I'm also, I don't want to get you in trouble.
Here you go. a work in progress of the. It's a very rough work in progress, but it's essentially where I've been, where I've stopped working on a what I call the Neo Hydra.
Neo Hydra. Oh, that's a cool name. You
Yep.
you missed it earlier, but we actually one of the challenges for today was called the Hydra. It was the sprint something Hydra. Something Herculean lore. I don't know. You guys are the ones that did all the Greek naming. I just have to live with it and try and pronounce it fluidly in a cast.
Oh,
Thanks, by the way.
you're welcome.
Oh. No, that's cool.
Buddy.
So it's got those like side cannons armed on it as well. Are those flamethrowers?
Those are green lasers. Those
Oh,
are
okay.
case-made green lasers.
Okay, neat.
Yep. And
That's
a big
super cool.
SAR cannon up top.
Oh, is that what that is? So it's like a heavy plasma thing?
Yep.
Nice. Alright, these guys want to get started. For reference, by the way, for viewers at home as well as you fine folks, this one is called the Augean Stables, which was, I don't know, I did a bunch of reading about the Herculean. I went down just a crazy rabbit hole last night of learning all the like Hercules lore, and apparently one of his tasks was to go clean out a big stable. And so I figured, what better than a map full of reclaim already placed out on the battlefield that the players have to go try and reclaim and clean up. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, or at least in this game. Tharsis, did you make it in already?
I've made it in, but I'm all the way at the bottom of the queue.
Okay, hold on.
Can I also get in?
Yep, I'm gonna start kicking people indiscriminately here.
Unfortunate.
Well, somewhat
Unlucky.
discriminately.
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
just-
stables. Okay, I found it.
I'm gonna start specking from the bottom here until eventually you two get in.
Sure.
You'll be able to requeue if you want to play.
Crimson, you want to join the join queue here?
All right. Where's the join queue? Join.
You even play this game? You just make it. Don't get high on
Listen,
your own
I-
supply, sort of thing.
Listen, there's one thing I know is that there is rarely ever anyone with lower open skill than me in a lobby.
You got this deep
And that's
internal
me-
understanding, but the mechanics, not quite there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I think I got kicked.
Oh, no,
Oh,
I
no.
think the lobby crashed. Oh, wow, okay. Alright, well. Let me, I guess we'll host a new one. Lobbies have been having a rough time with us today. I don't know if I've been breaking things or if it's just how it goes.
If this is the servers at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
During the
Heard.
weekends, it gets pretty clogged.
Mm. That's I'm assuming that's a different team though.
Yep.
Go
Not
voice
my-
your you
not my
heard
problem.
them. Go voice your complaints elsewhere. This is not the place for it.
Sadly, we can't 3D model a new server.
Yeah. The Legion server now with more green.
We can't texture a new server either. Nor can we animate a new server.
Yeah, maybe we can boss script a new server. No, not really.
Will this new what is it called, a host or new, I'm not sure what they referred to it earlier, the new lobby handler thing that's been in development for a long time, is that gonna be like a ground up rework of the way that the servers are handled, like the lobby servers and all that, or is it just a skin on top? Or is that a different realm of people?
I think it's a different realm of people.
No worries.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, most we can talk about our units. Really.
Well, let's talk about units then. What are, I've already asked this question. Tharsis, she's already answered this a couple of times now. But Crimson, what are some of your favorite units from Legion? If you had to
from
like, pick
Legion.
a few, yeah.
Well, definitely the Qcrew and the Javelin.
Okay,
Yeah, those two.
You'll have to remind me. I'm still memorizing all the names.
So if I remember correctly, the Qcrew is the tier 1.5 Gatling tank,
Oh yes, okay.
and the Javelin is the assault, like the spam/assault amphibious raider mech for T3.
Oh yes, with the Gatling guns on the
Yep.
on the arms. Yes, of course.
I mean, I should also mention my boy the Pilum,
Ah,
but that's a less known unit because it's an extra unit.
I love I've been calling it the Pilum, but Pilum, however it's said. I love it. My favorite thing about that unit, bar none, is the descriptor that you wrote for the snub nose railgun. I think you called it like a mining laser, right, for the other thing,
Yes,
and then
yes. It's a mining laser.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it was very strongly inspired by Armored Core, so.
Okay, cool. I was wondering where the inspiration for that came from.
Yeah, originally in my first concept art, it had a shield, and it was supposed to have this mechanic where once it took enough damage and its shield and armor broke off, it was supposed to get a boost of speed.
Interesting.
To finish a charge with its melee attack.
Uh-huh.
But at the time when me and Twerk were making the unit, there were no variable unit speeds.
Oh, interesting.
Well, for the purposes of creating the Telsian, that gadget was created more or less, I think, at least a version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which allowed the walking battleship to have different move speeds, I think. I'm not sure if the implementation is the same, but I think that was the first instance of that thing.
Oh.
The Telsian, in the prototype stage, the Telsian had a higher move speed underwater than it had on land. I'm not sure if that's still in the game because I haven't played this game in like a couple of months, outside of testing my boats.
Well, welcome back. Real long break.
Yep.
Interesting. That's the kind of stuff that I'm happy to hear about, because it's like a little thing that gets developed for a very specific need case, but who knows where later on that becomes really cool, really useful.
Yep. The Telsian also has a funny history because when I first made the concept art for it, it started out as a convertible submarine, where it was walking on land with the laser, and when it went underwater, it was shooting torpedoes. But because it was too similar to the duck, it had to be changed. So now we have the coastal defense mod.
Okay, interesting. I was wondering about that because it fits a very weird role where it's like it can fire at anti-sub but only on land, and then it has the big old heat ray cannon, of course, in the armor shed, which is very Legion. I'm gonna divert the conversation here just a second. I've got a new lobby up and running. I want to give you both a heads up and just let you, try and join as quick as possible, okay? Do you guys see it? I've renamed it the 5th Labor Augean Stables.
I'm still not seeing it, but maybe it will show up in a sec.
I see God officials on there. I can join off of them.
Okay, yep, yeah. If you can join, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm gonna... it's locked right now. I don't know how this guy keeps joining. But, yeah, I'll unlock it here in just a second. Have you found it, Crimson?
Lava Supreme Rotato. No, I don't think I see it in the lobby list.
Try searching for...
Wait, I found it.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna unlock it.
Unable to join battle locked.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna unlock it. Okay, unlocked. Should be able to join now.
Alright.
Hello.
No, wait, join.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yep, there we go. Okay,
Got
perfect. Wow, 0 open skill. My goodness.
Beautiful.
No skill whatsoever.
No, literally 0 skill.
That's amazing.
I have a funny story how I got 0 open skill, but I'm gonna tell it in just one sec.
Okay. That's funny. Okay, 12, 13, 14.
Don't worry, I've also seen 0 OS with a silver badge.
That's pretty good.
We don't talk about him nowadays, but if you know, you know.
Oh wait, I just kicked launch for no reason. Oops.
My God.
Hold on, I'm making it right. I hit the wrong button.
You know, I think the lowest I've went is 3-4 OS a while ago. I was in the slums.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I was looking at the bar stats, and that it said that the average OS was like 16 or something like that.
Yes.
Which it's pretty funny because you start at 17.
It's like, think of it like an IQ test. The IQ test is, you know how you have the bell curve where the most common IQ is the most standard.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at the top of your OS is 16, you're at the top of the bell curve. You are not special, but you're not detrimental.
Okay, I am back with my wonderful open skill.
Perfect. I'm trying to manually balance these teams right now.
Oh yeah, so the story of how I got 0 open skill. So, before I joined the contributor team, I played a lot of Beyond the Reason with my friends. Quite a lot. And we always played essentially... we played this thing where we were putting the Raptors or the Scavengers game mode, the longest possible time for preparations, and then the highest possible modifiers for the AI. And then we didn't turn off ranked.
It shouldn't contribute it to it at all, but if it did, that's funny.
That is very funny.
It must have, because I had 0 open skill before I played my first multiplayer match.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, we were also playing random games like, one person against 8 other people, but one person gets
That would have been it.
100.
That would have been it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So essentially, we just goofed around a lot, and I can't claw myself out of that open skill hole ever since.
Yeah, you're gonna need like a hard reset to get back. You have like a negative value or something.
Yep. Hey, I'm trying to work out a decent 1v1 open skill, so at least that's something I'm working on.
Yeah, there you go. I can't even spell. I'm trying so hard to start this match. Who is Ozymandias? Where is this ghost player? Ozymandias. Oh, there we go. Alright, maybe this time's the charm. Yes. We did it! We managed to get into a game. Splendid.
Yippee!
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get a game going and Beyond a Reason. Very excited for the, what do they call it? The queue? Or whatever, the matchmaking. I wonder if that's going to be another thing. It's going to be so difficult with the matchmaking to do like the extra settings and whatnot. I wonder how that's going to work. Maybe some sort of a lobby with you can tweak it to be, you know, I want to be match made with a bunch of people that agree to play with these settings and whatnot, and it tries to line it up properly. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Where are we? Oh yeah, this is where we are.
We are on the beautiful map of Ancient Vault version 1.4. The changes that have been made are that there is, well, for one, the extra units pack has been enabled on Legion, of course. Metal extraction is down by half, but energy conversion is up by 2. So that early metal reclaim is going to be super useful. The metal extraction, not so much.
No, got both. Damn.
Yeah, we need to put a Legion boat out here in this map sometime. Get like a walking boat somewhere.
One day, when Legion's fully released, probably.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Okay. Tharsis, I'm gonna go for early solar panels. Are you gonna go for resbots to try and eat up a bunch of that metal?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and boost you a bunch of energy as much as I can.
I can get a transport as well, just a small one.
Okay, yeah,
I guess we can destruct us under those mixes early.
Let's see if I remember how to play the
I'll
game.
just go spawn here. Someone else is gonna do it, so I may as well.
I'm a little bit concerned. We have a lot of people spawning on south there.
This is not a new map.
Listen, this is gonna be a very great, like no one's gonna expect us coming down from the bottom.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Listen, this is gonna be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's funny. Andy's asking if this is a new map. This map has been around as long as like Glitters, I think. This is a super old map.
It's pretty cool for raptors or scavengers because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
start in that pit with all of the wreckage that you can resurrect or eat up.
Yeah, and all the 3.6s as well is huge. Double GS. Yeah. Start. All right.
Yeah, the main reason this map doesn't have start guides is because it's not a PvP map.
Yeah, not normally. I like to break maps, bend them to fit PvP.
Yep.
Works better with some than others, though.
Okay, one funny thing I can say, because I did double in mapping a little bit. I tried to make a map,
Oh yeah.
and I did
Nice.
manage to get it working in engine. So I did go that far. It was a pretty neat map. Like, it was this concept of a dam with a water reservoir on the other side that had been drained and flooded, and it has flooded a valley underneath.
Oh, okay,
It
cool.
was supposed to be this PvE map, but well, let's just say that I stumbled into the problem of making man-made structures in the well, for a map. It's difficult. It's really difficult.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say there's very few of those in game.
Yep, there's a reason for that.
Tharsis, you want a light or a heavy trans?
Just a light one.
Okay.
I don't think I need it actually, but
Okay, I'll use it somehow
Yeah.
then.
you'll be able to transport something over. Likely. Yeah, no, I just had a double thought. I'm like, no, I don't need it now because I've changed my strategy
Okay.
since we discussed it.
So I'll just go for a lab here. Yeah, somebody brought up a great point that one E-converter will now produce more metal than Legion mexes. Like a lot more. It should produce 2 metal per second, whereas one of these mechs is going to produce 0.8. So E-conversion, pretty spicy.
Also, remember to rotate your turrets towards the enemy. It makes them shoot them faster.
Oh, it's a
True.
good point.
Just random tip. Gotta keep those tips from OS0. Oh no, it's the wheelies.
I just noticed this is the in the center. This is the old Armada carrier or anti-nuke ship.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh? With the yeah, with the what is it? The air repair pads they had on it. So weird.
Yep.
Alright, we might get an early comp snipe. Will it work? Let's see.
Oh,
Ooh, I want that.
that'd be nice.
No, don't think we have enough. Maybe I can snipe that max.
Surprise!
Surprise! Here, do you want to micro this, or would you rather I do it?
You do it. I can give you. I am trying to sort out some solutions.
Well, that was a good attempt.
Oh, that's the Czar up and running.
I should have rushed reclaiming that. Get it off the table.
Oh, yep.
I didn't even know there was a Tsar there.
Okay. That's going to be difficult to deal with. Poison arrow is pretty good if we could keep that alive, I guess.
Oh.
Oh, the Tsar is so brutal.
I
Oh.
did not pay attention to that.
Oh no, I didn't
It's
either.
already max health.
Yeah, it's basically rezzed. Oh, dang. Let's see. What can even be done about it? I don't know.
Oh boy, the new fog. I haven't had a look at this model yet in game. That's nice.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty one.
Yep.
Did you want my energy?
Damn it.
Yeah. Not your fault. There's nothing you can do about that. Well, we can always hope our southern side has some success.
We're holding, I guess.
That's good.
Not much else I can say about that. Anyways, where are my constructors? Not good.
Okay, we got their res bots down. I think the energy produced by the metal extractors, the Legion metal extractors, produces more metal than the actual metal extractors. That's not a commander trade, okay.
Nice.
I suppose if we can...
I mean, it's. I got broken arrow at the moment. Just keep sending it. Keep whittling away at it.
Boy, that wall of fogs is sure a nuisance.
Purple is broken through, though, that's good. Just shoot itself if we can.
No, come on.
Splash that commander if we can. Oh, they manually target fire. That's cheating. No micro allowed.
Micro and might be on the reason.
This is unheard of. Unbelievable.
It's truly beyond all reason.
Truly. Make a handful of constructors to try and help you rebuild here, Darcus. Just gonna hand them over to
Pretty
my back
pretty
line.
screwed. Deny that middle. Yeah, no, it's wide open.
Yeah, that the Tsar is pretty brutal. Have that. Have 3 of these. Yeah, and one of these.
Yeah, I've been practicing a lot of naval play. Turns out playing with plasma bots is really similar to playing with riptides.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, am I doing those at all?
Come on, focus fire on that commander. Ow. Like,
Get some bad news. They ate the trimmer.
Ah,
How dare they?
Tremor Enjoyer does not get to enjoy the Tremor. This is
That's
as bad as it gets. There goes my commander.
Dual LLT for the win. I love these things.
Yeah, Twin Guard are pretty great. When one guard good, Twin Guard.
yeah, that sounds pretty neat.
useful. Very
I'm gonna
powerful.
lie. Yep. Are you a poet or something?
Let me see.
Unfortunately, no Mashasar.
Yeah. I'm not convinced we have anything to match this Tsar.
The 3-minute SAR build is insane.
Yeah, you could say that's pretty solid. Man, we tried so hard, we just couldn't break it. Maybe it's nice to calm here.
Almost. I just split him.
Hey, there we go. Okay, commander's down. Build power taken out of the equation at least. Is that a second Tsar? Oh no. Our southern side ran out too. We ran out of steam. They took the Augean stables. Yeah, there's just nothing. Rip. GG. OP Tsar Reclaim. This map ought to have at least a Tsar on every side, I feel like. I wonder what happens if you resurrect that despot in the middle. Like, does it actually...
It just dies.
Oh, that's so tragic. It'd be really cool if you could resurrect it and it just floated there. Menacingly. GG. You know what? I think shuriken are very, very useful. Might have been the strat there.
Would have guessed.
It doesn't die, it just floats there? Oh, okay. Alright, well I do have a few more. I have one other one here. I have one more game for today, so if you're both down, we can play the last one.
yes,
I think we got through all of them. Oh no, there's actually 2 more. Okay, well maybe you guys can choose. I have one here that's called the Golden Hind, and that one is basically it was about catching a very fast moving critter, some sort of like gazelle looking thing. So I figured what we could do is play on All That Glitters extended version. You know, you have to try and catch the run-by units as they try and get into your base. The other one is called Mares of Diomedes, and that is one where the rule is you're only allowed to play with units with 0 legs, 4 legs, or 6 legs. Which one do you guys think?
Bam, is that you?
Wait, what again? What was the second one?
The second one is called the Mares of Diomedes. It was about like stealing these man-eating horses, basically. So the special rule is you're only allowed to build things with 0 legs, 4 legs, or 6 legs.
I could do that.
0 legs, 4 legs, or 6 legs.
Yep. Okay,
Alright,
let's go with that
we
one.
can go with that.
Let me load that one up. Oh, that kicked everybody out. Okay. It's going to take a second. It's alright, we're just rotating through the people. It's all good. Alright. This is gonna take a little bit of explanation, so pardon me while I type into the chat the rules. Legs, or and until I have such a time that they grant me power to enforce these rules, or somebody makes a custom tweak set, we will just play with faith and trust, and hope that if anybody breaks the rules, the entire team will snitch on them, and we'll just smite them with the banhammer. It'll be great. Alright. Let me see. Oh, dang it. It moved us all on the wrong teams. Here, I'm going to send you both a party invite here.
Alright.
That way it balances us properly. Let me know if that works. It's been a long time since I've tried one of those.
I am in a party now.
Let me try the balance button. Bring Jinxer. Darcus, were you able to join the party?
Yep.
Okay. There it goes. Okay. I feel like the 0 open skill is definitely throwing the balance algorithm for a loop.
Listen, it can't have it easy. You know, when you're a dev, you gotta be a dev full time. You gotta always throw in a spanner in the works.
Your edge case testing here. I love it.
Yes. I mean, we also have question mark open skill, so...
Yeah, that's true. That could be anything. Alright, I'm just spamming the rules a few times. Oh, 0.32, not 0. Oh, okay. There's a little skill left in the bones here after all.
Oh boy, I'm clawing myself out of the pit. Incredible.
One game at a time. In unranked.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I might have forgotten to
Brick
turn
by
off
brick.
ranked here. Whoops.
Listen, one lost game at a time. I will claw myself out of this hole.
You just gotta OP rig the system and manage to steal as much open skill as
No,
possible.
listen, it's simple. If I have 0 open skill and I never win a match, or at least I never have a documented one match, then no one can accuse me of making the game OP for myself.
That's a great point. That does buy you a bunch of plausible deniability.
Oh god, it's this map.
Yep. Special Reef. And this will probably be our
Yep.
last match of the day. We are nearing the end of our time. So let's make it count. Shall we go for any strategies? Anything come to mind?
Simple. Everyone makes units, but gives them all to one player.
Who should it be, though? Lowest OS on the
Who
team.
has the best micro of all of us?
It's a tough question to answer. I have documented really terrible micro. All right, remember only I'll put it in the chat one more time. Only. Oh wait, it's actually not going.
Only
How do I count?
tanks, quads, and spiders.
0 legs, 4 legs, or 6 legs. So yeah,
Okay.
tanks.
It's already over. We have the commanders.
We all lose. Yeah, I
Fails.
guess.
GG, everyone.
Do constructors count or not? Because
No, constructors don't count. I just realized that that'd be a huge issue.
and also
Alright.
Cortex tier 1 lab doesn't only has anti-air and quads.
I'm just gonna very quickly completely circumvent this challenge. I'm going air.
Yeah, that works. Air basically doesn't have to play any differently. For everyone else, you play
Yeah.
vehicles or you play a very tiny roster of bots.
Yep.
I think Legion is the only faction that has a 4-legged T1 unit, right? In
The
their bot
Cardinals,
lab.
right?
Yeah, Phobos. Is
Oh yeah, there are 2 of them.
the Karkinos is 4-legged too, huh?
Yep.
Oh dang, that's an expensive
Well,
comp though.
no anti-air for anyone though.
Yep, yeah, no anti-air except for towers.
Cortex has anti-air.
Is the
Cortex
trash?
anti-air
Yeah,
is a quad.
Cortex does have the 4-legged anti-air.
Oh, that's right, the Manticore, huh?
Yep. Oh yeah, funny thing I found out
And
when I was
treasure.
making 3D models for the 3D model for the tier 2 anti-air bot for Legion, is that the scale on the Cortex and Armada tier 2 anti-air bots is completely out of whack.
The scale? How so?
Yes, they are really small,
Huh?
the models themselves.
How does that happen?
Not sure why that is. I don't know, I think it's just some leftover, like, legacy design.
Uh huh. That's that's really interesting.
Like, they're way smaller they're barely any larger than the tier 1s in Blender.
Is
They're smaller than the T1s. Weird.
I mean, no, not smaller, just they're very similar, slightly larger.
Oh, okay. Huh. I would have thought they would have been. I guess they look like a 3x3.
I just want the one.
Sure, I can construct it and give it to you, or I can just not give
Okay.
it. Alright.
Sounds good.
Okay, I have my constructor, yippee. I guess we need some scouts.
They spawned in the corner, so we're gonna be aggressive on this northern side.
I guess some mosquitoes will be needed too. Yep. Oh, that was fast. Oh yeah, there's one very funny game mode I would recommend anyone to try in this game. So, you grab a bunch of friends, and you all drop in separate teams, or in pairs or whatever. Then you add a barbarian AI for each of the teams. And now the fun part. All of the units you build, all of the structures, everything, you can build any units. You give all of them, I mean, if you build them, you give all of them to the AI.
Oh, that is funny. So the
You
AI
can
has to
realize
control
all the-
everything.
Yeah, you can realize a lot of very interesting things about the barbarian AI. Like, for example, I'm not sure if that's still the case, but at some point, it's very artillery shy. Like, literally the moment an artillery cannon comes into play, entire pushes of experimental units can just be stopped, dead in place.
Yeah, that is really weird. So it'll try to avoid those at all costs, no matter what.
Yep. At least that was the case back when I played last time. Maybe it's different now.
I wonder how that's developed. That is really interesting, though.
Another thing is that the AI spreads in a very weird way, because once it spots a player, it kind of stops expanding. Also, eventually, at some point, it also just stops expanding and just starts, like, it's just roaming, essentially. Like, it's a bit wonky. Like, it's definitely way better than the simple AI, and it's pretty competent, but there are ways to break it. And if you want to find those ways, then yeah, doing this kind of game is what you want to do.
Huh. I wonder what the, I mean, I wonder if there's any exploits you could use that on some of the, what are they called? The scenarios or whatever. Because those I have long struggled with.
Well, the last I know, the scenarios are hard-coded and use simple AI, not the barbarian AI, so I don't think that...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I worked a little bit on, quote-unquote, some of the... Since, as I said, I'm a lore writer, I also did some playtesting for a... Well, let's just call it a tutorial, and yeah, there's a lot of hard-coded stuff there.
Oh, interesting. I guess that makes sense, though. You have to, otherwise you get, like... Everyone's tutorial is different.
Yep.
Doesn't make much sense.
I have a spare constructor and I'm running out of energy. How did that happen?
Happens to me all the
I
time.
love wind.
Okay, time to see where they are. All of them. Oh yeah, I guess one thing that I'm just gonna say, because it's been said a couple of times by Volashok, our narrative lead, and the lore channel, so I can just repeat it so that no one has that question anymore. Yes, Beyond the Reason has humans in the setting. It's not only robots.
Really? Oh, wow. It's a huge lore drop.
As I said, it's been
The
said a couple of
revelation.
times in different channels.
The long-lost humans have been found at last.
Yep, they've been under a rock.
Do they have any tie-in to
Here we
Legion,
go.
or is that just coincidentally found at the same time? Is there a tie-in to Legion, or are they just they've just been around at the same time?
There is a tie-in to Legion, though no, the backstory is pretty different. I can't say much. There will be a public lore drop.
Sweet.
There will be one. It's pretty well in the works, so it will be... It's closer than further away. I'll just say that.
Wow, okay, neat. That's huge. Well, thank you for sharing. Everyone is thrilled. It's exactly what we hope to learn. I feel like lore is one of those things that has always been like everybody's wondered about it for the longest time. Oh, I can't believe that didn't kill the commander. Oh, it's such a fumble.
Alright, what else can I do with my energy? I guess I can... I don't exactly have that much of it. Alright. I guess I can do a harass. Where do they have anti-air? Oh. Alrighty.
Big army.
And you know me, I've already got anti-air in my base.
You have a swarm of fighters around you. Is that good enough anti-air?
That's plenty. I mean, I still always have my own static
Yeah.
anti-air.
Alright, I need some better economy.
Flinch cases where it's needed.
Which one is my main constructor? This one. Gotta upgrade the maxes. Oh yeah, I was supposed to give you a max. Here we go.
Ah, thank you. I was wondering what I was taking for to make this.
I forgot.
Nah, you're good.
Nope. Okay, paused.
No.
Oh, yep. Pause. You DC'd. Wait. Because I'm pausing it. Crimson's dropped. Crimson's disconnected here. Oh, they're gonna find my constructor over there. Dang. All right. What else can I? What can I do that's four-legged? What comes out of the T2 bot lab? Is there anything that's four-legged out of there?
Thanatos. Radar jammer.
So I don't think that's gonna work. Incinerator might work. Is that worth it though? I feel like just go for the vehicle.
Most of the units in tier 2 bots for Legion are quad.
Oh yeah, I guess. I can't go for hoplites though. That's a bummer.
Nah. You can do Proteus. Do an early, you could push frontline.
Yeah, that's true. I'm so inexperienced with the vehicles. I feel like I haven't used them very much at all. Crimson, are you there? Oh, okay. Well, Crimson appears to have fully disconnected. Give him a minute here to reconnect. Yeah, it'd be funny to do this with units that also only have only have 4 treads, I guess. Because I forgot about it, but yeah, a lot of the tanks do actually have multi-treads. So they're... you can actually technically do it that way.
We paused because someone disconnected. I think their internet vanished.
Dang. Disappeared without a trace. Go next for gaming. I don't think you people understand what lobby you're in here. Shoot for the king, you better not miss. It's the funniest thing is like these lobbies, because I do these almost every Saturday, some sort of funky lobby like this, and so many people will join and then wonder why on earth all these weird settings are happening or anything like that. What's this Legion thing that you guys are playing with? Is this a mod?
Yeah, no, that's one thing that irks me the most is somebody joining in the title, Legion lobby, and then they vote to remove Legion.
Yeah. It's like, this was the point. This is what we set it up from the beginning.
Welcome back.
Oh, hello?
Hello there.
Yeah, my internet decided to leave me.
Ah. No worries. We paused the game for you.
Alright, where's the lobby again?
You should be able to search by my name. Me or Tharsis, either one of us.
Oh yeah. Join battle. Let me just join. Click rejoin to watch, I guess.
I'll play a reconnect.
Listen, I dropped too much information this stream and I decided to cut my internet connection.
They doxed you.
Yep.
Sent the server squad. Oh, that's funny.
And our organization has decided to end it.
FBI, open up.
That's great.
Yeah, it's the lore files. Get him.
When you're keeping it in
that
there.
is just loading and loading.
Yep, no problem.
Yep. I'm gonna be back soon because I'm like already at 6 minutes.
What was the, I know somebody explained it to me a long time ago. There was some way about the, what is it? The way that the old scripting mechanic worked for, StarCraft, where it was like the way that they could jump around replays and whatnot and join games and that sort of a thing. I always wondered about that.
Alright, give me a moment. How did I grab control of me again? Oh, just like that. Alright.
Someone on
Oh, you
pause.
back?
Yep, I am back.
Oh, okay. I guess we're good.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay.
My mosquitoes decided to have a field day with free maxes in the meantime.
You're just not showing up on my screen. Oh no, there you are. You're back.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
hello?
Yep, you're
Alright.
good. It was doing that bug where you were connected, but it still had your name as a dash in the corner.
Oh no, they've sent fighters to destroy my mosquitoes. What am I gonna do? Guess I'm gonna send my own fighters. Come on, keep flying. We have a mission. Oh, T2 builder, destroy it.
Oh, nice. They had a T2 aircon out there?
Now they have a tier 2, just a normal constructor. I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill it. Nope. Too many fighters.
Ah, try.
Shame. I'm gonna eradicate the fighters for their insolence. Let's get back home. Oh, all of my quotas reset.
I
was
screwed up
wondering
my
why
build
nothing is
order a little
building.
bit.
Yeah, quota mode. I really recommend using that feature. It's really useful.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one.
Alright, I guess I can start eating my normal solar panels and build the advanced ones. Like once I have, let's say, 6, I can start transitioning to tier 2, I guess.
If you're ready.
Oh boy, a fighter. Well, good thing I have some of mine back.
Oh, they've got T2 on this side. That's tough. Kill it? Yes, okay, nice. No, no, no. Ah! I'm fumbling! T2, please.
Okay, that's a bit too much energy eating.
Is never too much. Thank you.
Nice. Oh, the bowl sucks. I mean, it's really good, but it sucks. I still remember that was one of the first units I ever saw on Beyond All Reason, was the bull. And I just thought it was the goofiest looking thing in the world. It didn't make any sense at all, and then now I see the error of my ways. How wrong I was. Yeah, I guess the Legion Resbot is the secret superpower, because that thing has 4 legs to it.
Yep, that thing can spawn. It can exist.
It's allowed.
It's legal. Alright, after this economy building, I guess I'm gonna start building the tier 2 plant.
That's a lot of spoilers.
Finally. No boy, thanks.
I'll help bootstrap you for a bit.
Oh boy, tier 2 error. That's not good. Right, I'm gonna upgrade my Mexus.
Some better stuff going on up here. Ticks versus Jaguars is a rough matchup.
It seems to be working.
It does seem to be working. That's surprising.
Ticks are a little bit broken.
Yeah. They're very cost effective. Definitely grant them that.
That wasn't supposed to be there.
Alright, I just don't have enough build power right now. Oh boy, orange just broke through. Friend.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
My economy really isn't going too well.
Yeah, I'm losing my mechs this year too. This northern side's been pretty brutal. Do love the Triton. Solid, steady vehicle. Always has my back whenever I need it.
No boy, the enemy area I'm getting spotted out of the sky, but tier 2 is finally done for me.
That's good.
So that means I can start doing the, I think, fast interceptors right now because they're cheaper.
How do you advance to higher tiers, says Necrojester? Well, the answer is you build T1 and then...
Constructors are exempt.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize we were... Yeah, sorry, given the game mode. I guess that's a great question. Yeah, you can build any constructor you want.
Alright, I'm getting some air. Oh, nice! That's exactly the moment I needed some tier 2 air because they've sent out Phoenix Eye.
Ah,
Ooh.
nice. Those interceptors are a great catch, though.
No, I got friendly fired by... No, wait, those are the Armada things. Yeah, fuck.
Oh, here they come.
Yep. Now I'm gonna figure something out. Eventually. Oh yeah, we don't have any anti-nukes.
That could be
Good.
an issue, for sure.
That was
Wait, no.
good. That was not good.
Yep. We have a massive hole in our lines. Not good. I need more build power.
Yeah, a little bit more air.
I'm working on it. Trying to, at least.
Easier said than done.
Yep.
Of course.
I'm upgrading right now to the advanced metal fortifiers, so I'll have some more build power on my mexes.
Oh, that's pretty tough. What did I just inherit? Why did I just get the blue base? I was not even close to the closest companion you could have given that to. Why, Dot? Why? Why do you always leave my games early? It's a pattern with you. Shaking my head. When early leaver penalty implemented in game?
That would be nice.
I'm no way, shape, or form to build a Tyranny, but god are they tempting. Oh yeah, advanced wind turbines. That's a good way to transition into tier 2 energy production.
Thought they were added.
Yeah, extra units.
Yeah, actually,
Yep.
that's pretty good.
Oh boy, there's a Jaguar push heading straight into our core.
Yep. That's I received a base over here for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I don't appreciate people leaving the game early like that. Not super cash money. Super
Yeah.
impressed by the Triton handling the bulls here, though. I feel like the cost effectiveness is off the charts.
Yep. Tier 1 laser turrets, defend me.
The anti-air bots are doing some numbers.
Ah yes, my heavy assault gunship is finished. Kill them. Oh, friendly fire!
Ooh! That was not good.
That was not good. That was not cash money. Oh yeah, that was the advanced geothermal going. Yeah.
Yep.
Ah!
And carries there too. Jeez. They got out on the map a lot quicker than us. It's just how it goes.
Yep.
I was
This
just
map
getting
is
a
so
steady
tough.
stream of Mammoth out.
Dang it.
Shame I didn't get that. Shame I got disconnected, because if I could get that mosquito rush, that mosquito flank done, then that would have been huge.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Would have changed the pace of the whole game. All right. Well, GG is called. Thank you, both of you, for showing up here today. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the Legion devs. I'm very excited. We're going to be doing this. I know you guys know this, but I'm more or less just announcing this to everybody else. We're going to be doing another one of these next Saturday as well, because there's some members from the team that didn't get to join us today. So we'll be asking them some of the same questions, and there's a whole nother list of challenges. We only got through, I think, 5 of the 12 challenges, so we're going to be checking out the back end of that list. Of course, both of you, as well as the rest of the team, anybody that wants to is welcome to join next Saturday as well. But stay tuned for more of that, and I appreciate both of you coming out today.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was definitely nice being here. All right.
Of course. Any closing notes? Anything you didn't get off your chest that you need to tell people about? Fun facts or otherwise?
There is definitely not a friendly AI waifu companion inside the commanders. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Very good to know. We'll have to definitely investigate that further. That brings some serious implications. Nobody's going to be eating commanders anymore. It's all resurrection. But all right. Well, thanks a ton, everybody. Thank you two specifically, Crimson and Tharsis. I really appreciate your expertise telling us about the Legion stuff and things, showing off. And I'm excited to hear more as well.
Sweet.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you. And that about concludes it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it here first. There was tons of good information from the devs, from new leaks about new potential, future prospects for this game, as well as a whole bunch of behind the scenes. I sure hope you guys enjoyed, as well as the theme of the Herculean labors. And I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up and hanging out today. Bright learning why I don't like to play with Dot. Yeah, it turns out you leave me hanging, I'm going to be kind of pissed. But no, seriously, thanks a ton to all the Legion devs for showing up here today and making a good time. I appreciate it. Appreciate each and every one of you. You heard what they said, folks. If you have any useful information, go put it in the actual Beyond Our Reason development chats. They'll direct you around wherever it needs to go. Be kind to them, right? They're working very hard, and they're volunteers, and they're giving us their time and effort to give us something beautiful. And so they deserve the utmost respect and tenderness, love, and care. All that good stuff. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'm very excited for next weekend, where we'll be not only checking out there will be the second part of this series where we get to chat with the Legion developers. We'll have a whole new, some familiar faces and some new faces joining us for the Legion development team, and then Sunday, we will have the Beyond All Reason. It's going to be a tournament. There's basically a tournament going on. It's very special. I don't know the details have been finalized, so stay tuned in the Discord for more of that. Once I have the details, I'll pass them along to you guys. But other than that, I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you guys take it easy this weekend and enjoy your time remaining. And I hope to see you all again in the very next one. Peace out, everybody.